They not like us.
And all the biggest names in the game. Plus, exclusive remixes, throwbacks, and the dopest DJs. Powered by NRG Media Omaha. We bring you the energy, the culture, and the sound of the city. Lock in to Power 1069.
It's time to stuff the truck to benefit Toys for Tots. Join 1620 The Zone, Woodhouse Chevrolet Omaha, and Molina Healthcare of Nebraska, December 5th and 6th at Westwood Plaza to help us bring joy to others this holiday season. Donate new unwrapped toys so kids in the metro can have a happy holiday. Stuff the truck, December 5th and 6th at Westwood Plaza with Woodhouse Chevrolet Omaha, Molina Healthcare of Nebraska, and 1620 The Zone.
Christmas music on Santa Baby 1180.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover.
It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Would you prefer me to go over by the seat into the crossover?
Wherever you're comfortable.
Wherever you
I
like
just
to
wanted
be.
to know because I have to turn that mic on.
Whoa. I think this is more of like I get the triangle of trust here, and I can't really see you when I'm over.
Okay.
And I like looking at you. You're just nice to look at.
Thank you.
Did you wear that polo today as an insult to me?
I didn't, but I did think about it when I got in the car. I said, Matt's going to think this is a shot.
I considered a new bit last night, and it was going to be just retweeting all your Blackhawks takes.
So I heard it.
And I can't. No, I just said this for the first time out loud. This is the first time I've verbalized it to anybody. I want to do something with your Blackhawks tweets, but I don't know what yet. Could you help me?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I mean by, and you're right, this is the first time you verbalized this new bit idea. But what I did here, because I listened to the crossover between your show and Unsportsmanlike Conduct, because I think it's when I kind of get up from my nap. And when I get up from my nap, it's just kind of funny, like ha, like puts a little energy in me, like type of content. So I listened to a lot of them. There was a moment where John brought up the Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I talked to a Blackhawks fan, and Josh goes, Matt McMaster, or you go, Matt McMaster. And Josh goes, I was going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Josh was like, he was tweeting about hockey. And then you were like, incessantly. And like, I was like, oh, I got name dropped here. Yeah, I like hockey. And then Nick Grimm was like, yeah, he sure does like Chicago. I grew up there, Nick. Okay. Yeah. I like where I grew up. Just like Nick likes Iowa, right? And everybody likes
Go
Omaha,
Hawks.
who grew up in Omaha. I like Chicago. So yes,
All
Hawks are good this year. It's been the first time in 9 years.
Here's what we got from last night.
Go ahead.
Only two.
Yeah, there's a lot on the TV. My attention was very much split.
Sadly, only two last night.
It was a BS game. They
All
should
caps.
not have lost that game.
Bertuzzi top cheddar on a muffin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to play 60 minutes.
And
That's a good
then
one.
the other one was, what an awful period of hockey from the Hawks.
Yes.
That's right. It really was.
So
And then Josh responded, really was.
it was terrible. Well,
Were you watching that, Josh?
I was.
Wow.
First off, the Kraken committed a penalty that should have been a penalty shot.
Crack wagon.
And the referee, what a doofus, doesn't call the penalty on the Kraken. Instead, he's soft as Charmin, calls it on Bedsy, and then he goes to the box. And then the Kraken ended up scoring because for whatever reason, Knight's backside was just awful, or backdoor rather, was terrible. And they were able to kind of post up over there. And so Hawks have been better at defense, but for whatever reason, the back post is going to be a problem a lot this year.
Oh,
So,
I know. I keep saying that.
do you want to guess what Bertuzzi top cheddar on a muffin means?
I would assume he.
Good
I would assume he scored a top shelf goal.
Yes. And what's on a muffin? What do you think on a muffin? Do you know what on a muffin means?
I actually don't.
Not at all.
So like when you on a one timer,
Yeah.
When you muff the puck, when you get a little bit under it, it
Okay.
flutters
Yeah.
like a butterfly,
Yeah.
right? So when you do that, you muff it, right? So it's called a muffin. Like, oh, I had a muffin
but he still
scored. When you score at a muffin, it's always funny. Like you get back to the bench and people are like, "You
giving you crap."
They're like, "You suck," but nice goal. Like that's why it's always.
It's like when you get a broken bat hit.
Exactly. You're like, you're terrible.
Yeah.
But like, hey,
it's like nice job getting sawed off, but you're on base.
But it's like it's probably the funniest and worst. It's so funny to score it because it should never be scored. Like you should not score on a muffin.
Just like a broken bat hit.
Exactly.
You should never get a broken bat hit.
You should never get a broken bat
That's a win
hit.
for the pitcher.
But like everybody gives you I've scored 3 muffins before.
Nice.
I know them because they were all great moments. One of them was overseas.
What's your muffin to regular goal ratio?
I was not a goal scorer. I had a lot.
But you still had 3 muffins?
Yes. Well, I mean, I played for 11 years. Like you play over
3 muffins,
a long period of time. I was always an assist
MPY
guy.
is pretty low, muffins per year.
I led my team in assists in hockey like maybe 5 or 6 times. I was a really good passer.
Okay.
I wasn't a scorer. I was never really good at finishing.
Were you ever the first star?
Ooh.
I won an MVP at a tournament one time.
Yeah.
I did win. Like we would do like player of the games and stuff like that. Like I won a lot of that.
Nice.
Yeah, I was a very like above average Illinois high school hockey.
All right.
Which Illinois high school hockey is not Minnesota high school
were you
hockey,
like,
but I was good. I was good.
Did you make like an all-star team? Did you get like all state?
I was I got
any
votes.
honors?
I got votes to be all conference my senior year. I wasn't on the all conference team, but like it was voted on by the coaches.
So
and
Illinois State, Illinois.
No, not the state team. God, no, not the state team. This was in my own Chicago Catholic League conference. I got you're not going to find it because
they put 1 million players on those all.
I got votes.
Teams.
I wasn't on the conference team.
Hockey All Stars.
Yeah, that's not.
Chicago Catholic League hockey.
I was told
all region, all conference.
All Chicago
conference.
Catholic League all conference.
And what year was this? 2020?
2019.
2019.
I was not on the team, but I was told that the Marian Catholic coach and the Carmel coach gave me a vote. But there's like 16 teams, so I didn't make it.
Okay.
I had a good game against
Chicago Catholic Hockey League. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You'll probably look up
the old CCHL.
Yeah, the CCHL. I was Notre Dame College Prep.
Notre Dame.
If you went to
Got it.
2019, you would see that I think I would have like 2 goals, 3 or 4 assists. I did not get enough. I got enough points to know how many I got in the year. I had 2 more goals out of conference and like 4 more assists.
This is like track. What are we doing?
Yeah, it's a terrible. I don't know why we're talking about my high school hockey career.
Well, I mean, you started talking about hockey, and I was curious.
What do you think of the black sweater?
So 1920 or 1819?
It'd be
1819.
1819. I had more points. 1920, we were terrible. 1920, I did not.
This is basketball.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
basketball. You see Jason Bergstrom and Anthony Sales and Louis Lesmond on there. Bergstrom, yeah.
Nothing coming up on Bergstrom.
Oh, those are the Catholic awards. Yeah. You would find
Perry Cowan won the Tony Lawless Award.
You might find what's his name who plays for St. John's now? Bryce Hopkins is probably on that honors team somewhere there. He played for Fenwick.
Bryce Hopkins, Mr. ACL.
Yeah, he's gotten injured a lot.
Yep, he has.
The Chicago Catholic League is where Trey Taylor's coming from.
Oh, which one does he play for?
He plays for Carmel. Now they're a little weird now. Like it used to be the Eastern Suburban Catholic Conference, and then it turned into the Chicago Catholic League, and then there's a bunch of other. Illinois is completely mumbo jumboed everything. So, but Carmel is who Trey Taylor plays for.
Plaquette says honorable McMention.
Yes. Well, I mean, it wasn't like it was just like, hey, 2 coaches voted for you. They thought they thought you were good. Cool. Nope.
Nice. Dude, that's
very yeah. I told.
And you had 3 muffins in 11 years.
I was very slightly above average at hockey.
Well, you got some votes. Yeah. I don't know if that's recorded anywhere historically. I'd like to see it if it was.
I don't think.
I'd like to take a deep internet dive and just see what information.
I just want to make it very clear. I'm not claiming I'm a greater hockey player than what I was.
When I went to high school,
serviceable.
there was barely any stuff on the internet, so it's
there was
just
barely
really difficult to find.
the-
Before now, like you could totally just make up your high school career.
No, I think
I believe you.
I scored like only 9 goals in like
the stats are got to be better than that.
in like 70 varsity hockey games. I could never put the puck in the back. I was not that good. And I could pass the puck.
You were assistant.
Yeah,
that's an important role.
I could pass and I could play good defense. That was my thing.
And
I was on the penalty kill.
Oh yeah.
PK.
Yeah, I was on the PK.
All right.
That was kind of my thing. I was a good PK guy.
Oh, I'd like to learn more. Maybe
you want to become a Hawks fan?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to become a fan of any NHL.
I wish you
teams.
just didn't tell me about the bit. I just wish you started retweeting my Hawks tweets.
I know.
You should have just.
I wanted to let you know that I was considering.
I think now you need a new bit. I would have loved a bit for my Blackhawk fan because it is so my
because sometimes you say stuff and it's like totally out of context.
So that is something that has been happening.
That's something that I've noticed is everyone's talking about one thing and then Matt McMaster.
It's like when Padilla's talking about the Suns.
Yeah,
when like the Super Bowl is going on.
I like that bit. By the way, too, like I kind of do enjoy when everybody's tweeting about a Husker game and like the Bulls are going on.
Yeah.
I do
You do a lot of Bulls tweets too. I should go to your Bulls tweets.
But you could tell. Here's what I say: you can always tell when I'm watching a sporting event because if I'm watching a sporting event, regardless of who the team is in my fandom, I'm probably tweeting about it.
The Hawks being good is awesome. Been way too long since this league has seen them play consistently good hockey.
Oh, those were fun years.
They haven't won a playoff series. They're like the Denver Broncos. They haven't won a playoff series.
You were excited that the Bulls had a lead over the Nuggets going into the fourth quarter.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. I told Gary if he had a 401k, to put it all on the Nuggets to win that game.
Well,
and then they lost.
Yeah, the Nuggets did not win that game.
And Gary walked in. The very first thing he said to me is like, "Did you put any money on that game?" I go, "No, I didn't."
Bulls need to still win in Utah desperately.
Yes, they did. They did.
Is it desperation mode already for the Bulls?
I mean, I don't want to be in the play-in again. And
didn't they start out like
they started out 6-0? They started out 6-1.
The Bulls game is so much better of a watch than this football game.
Yes.
Now that was true.
So you were trying to get people over to watch the Bulls game.
I think it was the Thursday night football game between Denver and Oakland. Or Vegas. Okay,
then there's some Bears tweets. The Bears tweets are in one ear out the other. I like the other stuff.
So the Bulls were 6-1. Now they lost 5 in a row. They went 6-6, and then
they're no Pistons.
And then they beat Denver, which was incredible. Then they had the buzzer beater against the Trailblazers. I'm kind of the Bulls are probably going to win 42 games this year, but like every game really counts for them, which is why it's kind of been fun to root for them because they've been way better than I thought. Their next, so they play the Heat in their next game, and then they go on the run where they play some of the worst teams in the NBA. Like the combined record's like 8-75.
I couldn't tell you anybody's record or general standing
for the
this
basketball
moment. Yeah, no idea, and I don't feel like I'm really missing anything at this moment.
This is my first time
I assume the Nuggets are pretty good.
This is the first time in like 2 years where I'm actively like listening to NBA podcasts.
Whoa, Bill.
No, I'm a Zach Lowe guy. But now now Zach works for Bill, so now it's basically
That was nasty by Lafferty. Can never have nice things. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, so that was a fourth liner, and he had like a 2-touch toe drag, and then he went top tango Bardowski's. And that was really nice.
I totally know what that means.
Well, typically it's top another T word Bardowski's, but I can't say that T word on the radio.
Oh, okay.
What's Bardowski's?
You go bar down.
Oh, gotcha.
On the net.
Nice.
So
I got it.
You know, where mama hides.
Those look cool.
Where mama hides the peanut butter.
Those look cool. That's like when they make a 3-pointer and it just hits the back of the rim and the net doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
I love those. Those are good. What's your favorite kind of swish?
Ooh.
I love a rattle in and out.
Oh no, it can't be.
Like at the park, you're on the double rim and it goes bop bop. Like the bop bop.
Oh, okay. Those are kind of satisfying.
Like it hits the left rim, hits the right rim, and then just sprints down.
But we're not talking about sitting on top at all.
I would say my favorite type of swish is probably the corner, the far corner.
From the far corner, just snaps the net. I do love the ones where it just hits the back of the rim and it just drops straight down and the net doesn't move at all.
That's a good one. That one, I feel like that happens in March Madness a ton. Why does it happen way more in March Madness than any other basketball?
I don't know. Maybe something about those fluorescent orange balls.
They're so much different.
Yeah.
Well, the thing.
Everybody has moved to the more fluorescent orange balls now.
I love it with the corner swish where it's on an angle, yet the tip of the bottom of the net still flurs up into the net, you know, and you get the little.
There's some play.
Little snap.
Now, they have, I think, standardized the nets across college basketball now. Like everybody's got good nets. But I remember back in the day, like when
who had the worst nets?
Well, I always thought Creighton had horrible nets.
Yeah, I think New Jersey had some bad nets.
When it was the Quest Center, their nets were like shorter and thicker. It was like the ones you buy at Dick's or something like that.
Okay.
And I just didn't think the net reacted correctly when the ball went through it. And then they fixed them and got some better ones.
I love.
And they changed the nets
after Creighton.
They changed the nets often. Oh yeah, the court is great.
Court is awesome this year for the Jays. That I think when they did the feathery thing on the outside of the paint, right inside of the 3-point line, were they a little nervous of like, we don't know if this is gonna stick? Like, was that a risk? Was that a risk? Because it's awesome.
I don't know. I don't know that they really thought about it.
Because I feel like now, I think nothing gets me going more than a parquet floor. Like a true parquet.
Yeah, but you can only do parquet floors in certain places. You have to, if you're doing a parquet floor, it's got to be an old gym.
You cannot be a new team and have a parquet floor.
100%.
You cannot like the Charlotte Hornets cannot do parquet, but the Celtics and the Lakers and the Bulls.
Hornets tried to do that honeycomb parlay.
I feel like
thing.
that was the first time where I was like, they're getting real creative. And then they had the two-tone wood.
Yeah.
They would change it. Are they still honeycombing over there?
I don't think so.
Are they still honeycombing?
Yeah. They still going? Because I don't know. They're probably with some BS purple and teal or whatever. Hornets are weird.
Poll question. Charles, does a parquet floor get you going?
Yeah, it gets me going. I mean, there was
it has to.
I used to, when I went to Fairview South High School, District 72 in Skokie, Illinois, they had a signed piece of the old Chicago Stadium parquet floor by Michael Jordan, and it was up in the library. And that thing has to be worth so much money.
Speaking of floors, I went and visited the old Civic Auditorium floor last night at Mama's Pizza at 156th of Pacific.
How's that looking?
What a gem!
It's looking great. The old Jays, Billy the Blue Jay with the big basketball logo.
How did they remove the beer and urine smell from?
I don't know if they did.
Job.
They just scrubbed it a little bit.
Yeah. Did the Civic Auditorium, it gives me trough vibes. Did it have troughs?
I don't know that for sure, but
you are correct.
Am I correct?
That the vibes are of a trough.
I don't really remember the bathrooms.
I don't
specifically, but the concourse was small and the whole place had a certain stench to it.
I feel like just fan camaraderie is increased when there's a trough in your building.
Well, you're sharing a moment.
A little bit. I aim yours, you aim mine.
But the trough used to be so common.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now it's almost special when you get to experience it because there's just all the buildings are new.
Do you think that individual urinals back in the day were a little too standoffish?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
You're like,
you go to the Baxter now though. It's just rows of urinals. And
let me tell you right now, because that's a basketball. They always come in like, they play basketball there, but it's a hockey rink. It's a hockey arena. It's a hockey
barn.
It's a hockey place. And then I walked into the bathroom and I go, this is what they're talking about.
Great bathroom at Baxter.
Great bathroom. Incredible. Just live.
Huge.
That's the mark though of like a hockey rink, I feel like though.
A nice bathroom?
A lot of urinals. Just a ton of gas and goes, just in and out.
I've never had to wait.
Wow.
It's a little, I don't know if there's such thing as too many urinals, but it's a lot of urinals.
Like Steve Sipple said, you should never have to worry about going to the bathroom.
I couldn't agree more with that. Steve Ballmer, I think, looked at Baxter Arena.
Toilet!
It was like they got it right there in Omaha. They know what they're doing.
Little news for you.
Sure.
From the city of Omaha and Union Omaha. Union Omaha Soccer, in partnership with the city of Omaha, is announcing an agreement for the development of a professional soccer stadium and mixed-use district in North Downtown Omaha. If approved, a groundbreaking would occur in 2026, and the stadium would open in 2028. Speaking of new stadiums, this new stadium would serve as a transformative anchor for the area, adding walkable, vibrant, and transit-oriented destination. Josh, interested? Once built, it will be visible from Abbott Drive, adding a new wow factor to the city's front door.
Wow, the marketing team really splurged.
Josh, I have a rendering for you.
Oh, I bet you do.
I have a rendering for you if you're interested. Let me put it up here on the let me put it up on the screen.
Is Northwestern football going to play there?
They are not. I don't believe that's in the plans at the moment.
The joke stemmed from Northwestern decided to build a soccer stadium for their football stadium.
Ah, gotcha. Let me throw this up on the
yeah. Let me have it,
just so you can get the sense of what we're
renderings,
what we're dealing with here.
Shout out Marty. Is Cordero going to call in? It's a big deal for him. Marty.
There's your rendering, Josh.
Oh my gosh! Wow! Look at all those not dilapidated buildings. Are they going to fix that?
Now that is on the. That is the photo. This is
Isn't this right where they were going to build it?
I thought that they were looking on the other side of the street and a little bit close, a little bit further east. But yeah, this is generally the idea. Now,
wow,
this is awfully close. This might be right up against the border between Omaha and Carter Lake might be like at midfield.
Oh, Union Carter Lake.
So I don't know, like if you're in the north side of the stadium, can you gamble on your phone?
Oh, great question, Con.
That would be funny if they were like, here you go, you're geo-fenced in the perfect position.
You can gamble in the parking lot.
Gamble in the parking lot.
That's awesome.
It's very, very close.
I saw Marty.
Look at that. It looks beautiful. And it depicts our beautiful new tower. Look at our beautiful new tower.
There's 3 towers.
So Omaha needs 2 more big buildings, and then it's set.
No, we're good. We don't need
2 more. Need one in between the Mutual building and the other and the whatever the other big building is, and then you need kind of one off in the distance a little bit, like away from the downtown.
Are you a FMBO tower, Woodman Tower, or Mutual of Omaha Tower guy?
I think you know what? I got to the city when they started the Mutual of Omaha Tower,
so that's got to be
finishing
your tower.
up. So I feel like that's my tower.
That's
I also golf with a lot of Mutual of Omaha folk.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are my people. I'm a Mutual of Omaha guy. I don't know what they do or how I would ever be involved with Mutual of Omaha, but they're good guys to golf with. Good guys could drink with.
It's amazing. You know, my child will forever live in a city that has 3 towers. 3 towers. I grew up with 1 tower.
I'm gonna be real with you guys.
We've added 2 towers. We've tripled our towers.
This is a big deal for us, Matt.
I gotta preface this with I love this city. Okay, I really do.
Thank you for saying that.
I very much. There's a lot of Omaha that I enjoy. I like the people, like the bars, like the food, like the sports. It's perfect for me, right? This really is a good city for me. But I was homesick back in like late April, early May,
and you just wanted to look at towers.
And I went to go. I went into the downtown area, and I was walking around. And it was like, this is downtown. And I saw the lack of big buildings and the lack of skyscrapers and the fact that,
that's right.
I don't look up and there's just all these buildings. And I almost started crying because I'm like in Chicago, like back home, back in downtown. Like I miss my downtown after being that's why I think there should be more big buildings, because it's great when you look up and there's all the buildings in the downtown.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to what you just said.
Whoa!
Because I am looking up your. I got a tip on some of your hockey stuff here.
Oh, a tip.
I found my way to Don's link.
Yeah.
All right. So, 2020 seniors redo. This announcement is for Team Hammer. The senior 2020 redo is today after final exams. This 2020 seniors, led by Matt McMaster, says that Team Hammer wouldn't stand a chance versus the Hoover Dams.
Oh, this is a Notre Dame college prep intramural softball. We were the Hoover Dams. This is a great story.
I need some quotes.
Also,
happy birthday today to Raymond Farhanger.
Yeah. So that was written
May 25th. That's my birthday.
That was written by Coach Kostick. Coach Bob Kostick, BK. He is.
You were the senior class president?
Yes, I was.
Oh my God.
Captain?
On my hockey team, yeah.
Okay.
I was, yeah. I also was the film club president and the vice president of the video games club. And I was an officer of the Asian club.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay. That was a food club, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was a food-based club.
If you don't listen to every crossover.
So BK, Bob Kostick, that's my guy we still text every once in a while. He's the best. He made these intramural leagues as if they were like legitimate sport leagues. And he would write articles and like create storylines and make rivalries. And one year, BK and we created the NDXNFA, the Notre Dame Navy Football League. Okay. And, typically in these intramural leagues, you would go ahead and you would make it with your friends. Hey, I got a couple of friends. We're going to be a softball team. Got a couple of friends. We're going to be a basketball team. Well, I told Coach Kostick, I go, we should do a draft. Like we should draft kids. We should figure this out for Navy football. And he goes, you know what? Kids in this school need to know where they stand athletically. Like they need to know, what their peers think of them.
Yeah.
So we should do a draft. And you know what? We need some kids to get drafted last to like get better.
Yeah.
And so we did that.
It was good for morale.
It was great for morale.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. So the Hoover Dams was my team. We were the 2019 NDSL Softball League champions.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, what did you say about the whole Chicago thing and towers?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is better. So my buddy Tim Jennings, he was dating a girl.
Ray Jennings.
And no, Tim Jennings.
Broke his leg.
And he was dating a girl with the last name Hoover. Okay. And
Hoover Dams.
And he broke up with that girl.
Yeah.
And so to get it to like mess with Tim, I called the team Hoover Dams.
Hoover Dams.
And BK came up to me. He was like, I heard you named your team after Jennings' ex-girlfriend. And I go, no, I'm honoring a president and a great landmark in the state of Nevada.
Mm-hmm. You had cover on that one.
Exactly.
You had cover on that one. No, I would have
found that, by the way.
It was a text.
I didn't even know.
It says when you search Matt McMaster, the Don's link with his quotes are awesome, and I couldn't find the quotes. Texter, please, Cody, please send those my way. I would like to see those. But I do want to hear your take about the towers.
I just got homesick when there was a lack of towers in Omaha.
You miss looking at towers.
I just missed. Yeah, I missed kind of.
And not even the fact that we almost have a completed third tower could help you with that.
No, it is helping. It will help.
Okay.
But that's why I said two more.
You need something that reaches the clouds.
I want to feel small.
What if they put a big antenna on the top?
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be good. Get that height up.
Yeah.
Get that going.
I could do that.
I just think that I like feeling like an ant when I walk through a city. And you kind of feel that way.
Just go stand right underneath it.
Yeah, but like it was a little when this is the downtown and I could see the roof of every building.
We have
a little tough.
We have comment from our chief tower correspondent, Chance.
Oh no.
All caps. It's an affront to justice that the antennas on top of the Sears Tower don't count for its height.
Chance is an expert on towers.
Thank you. It's a great tower. I mean, Sears Tower is a great building.
I would assume you only put that there because you're trying to juice the numbers, and it didn't even work for him.
But I'm pretty sure in North America there was another buildings elsewhere that was bigger than the Willis Tower or Sears Tower that had. It was just because of the antennas. They made the antennas extra big.
Counts for others.
Huh? And the Sears Tower was like, you can't do that. Like you can't have a bigger building off of the antennas. And then so they made that rule. But then we tried getting back, and we couldn't. It worked for us.
Willis Tower currently sitting at number 3 in America's tallest tower.
Sears Tower.
Who's number 2?
Well, there is.
This is America or the world?
America.
Okay.
One World Trade Center is number 1.
Yeah, I knew that.
It's taller.
They can have it.
And then this is a building that freaks me out. Have you the Central Park Tower?
No.
It is
Central Park has a tower.
It's not in Central Park, like it overlooks Central Park. I guess most of them overlook Central Park, but like it is incredibly skinny and very tall. It looks like it would fall over, but it won't. They know how to engineer things.
Well,
Josh.
It could.
Josh.
Just saying.
So New York City owns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 top towers in America.
Where's the Trump Tower in Chicago?
7. in America.
Where's the Trump Tower in Chicago? Is that on
7 in America.
Oh, it's 7th?
7 in America.
Okay, I thought you meant New York at 7.
33rd in the world.
Yeah.
7 in America.
So that Trump Tower in Chicago, when you're driving in, you're like, okay, it looks big.
Oh, look at that. 30
then
Hudson Yards.
then
I was there recently.
You get under it, like on the river, you look up and you're like, oh my God.
It's a shame that the Empire State Building has fallen all the way to 10th.
Wow.
All the way to 10th.
King Kong ain't got bleep on me.
The John Hancock building used to be like second fiddle to the Sears Tower.
It's
and
Herbie
dude,
Hancock.
it's just falling apart.
The first non-New York or Chicago tower to appear on America's Top Towers list is the Comcast Technology Center in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Philly.
And then
But
LA.
cheesesteaks like that. Like I'm not a cheesesteak guy. Is it really like
I like cheesesteaks, but I've never been to Philly.
you never been to Philly?
No.
Cheesesteaks.
You like cheesesteaks?
Yeah. I've never been to Philly either.
Let's go to Philly, guys.
Let's all go to Philly. There will be a reason to go to Philly, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Are you a New York pizza or New Haven pizza guy?
New York.
New York.
Although New Haven pizza is great. Connecticut pizza, great.
Is it overhyped? Because everybody talks about it like it's the greatest.
No, you're talking to the wrong guy. No, it's not.
Colin White Plains, email it.
No, if you asked him, he would also be the wrong guy. He would also say no.
Who's the right guy?
Somebody from here.
Okay.
Yeah, because they would tell you that like Valentino's rocks.
Yeah.
And then you understand that you can't listen.
Got to get the chicken pesto.
You know what? So I had Godfather's pizza, and I didn't realize
That's
that
Zio's.
I didn't realize that Godfather's pizza has like a super thin crust.
They do.
And the super thin, in my opinion, clears the regular thin pizza. I thought I had the super thin pepperoni at the Jays game. Awesome. Awesome piece of pizza.
Shout out to Godfathers. Those are my guys.
I would eat that. I'd eat that.
Do it.
Do it. Forget about it.
Here's Christopher. He says,
Christopher Columbus is a hero.
Matt isn't even from Chicago, so his opinions on Tower don't matter.
Whoa.
Is this true?
I'm from Skokie, which is
not Chicago.
11 miles away from downtown, which is across the street from Sauganash. If I told people I'm from Sauganash, they'd be like, "Oh, that's from Chicago." If I was born 35 feet away from where I was born.
Oh, so you live across, you were across the street from Chicago.
I mean, I'm in, stop it. We're not doing this.
Why don't you just say Chicago? Just out of curiosity.
Because I'm from Skokie. I'm a
Okay.
Skokie guy. You gotta
Because if you went home and said you were from Chicago, people would be like, you ain't from
there's
Chicago.
Like, there are a lot of notable people in Illinois who are from Skokie.
Are there any towers in Skokie?
The Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Whoa.
That's not in Skokie.
Yes, it is.
That's in Italy.
Look it up. Look it up. Leaning Tower of Pisa, Skokie, Illinois. It's right by the YMCA. Used to go to that. There was an Al's Beef that used to be there. Now it's a teriyaki grill place. That's way too expensive.
Leaning Tower of Niles.
Yes.
Leaning Tower of Niles.
People from Skokie.
Wow.
We are one of the most Jewish towns in America. We have the National Holocaust Museum. Two high schools, Niles North, Niles West. We got a great mall, Westwood Mall, also known as Old Orchard. What are you laughing?
I'm just saying, we got all those things.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I'm saying Skokie is your normal ass town.
If there's one thing we got,
but like, yeah, I have to say I'm from. I am from Skokie. I like being from Skokie. It's a different type of town.
Many people commenting on Philadelphia, they're saying that it's bad and you don't need to go.
Whoa. Okay, great.
Yep. John says, I've been to Philadelphia. There is not a reason to go. Also,
have you seen the steps?
Ryan says, having lived an hour from Philly, it's highly overrated. Do not waste your time.
I don't know what I would do other than go to a sporting event and look at the steps
I would
and
need
go,
a
I'm not
reason-
doing all that.
I would need a reason to go there, but
Philly?
I wouldn't mind going.
Jays play a tournament game in
Actually, you know what? I have been
Nova?
to Philly. I went to a Phillies game once.
Oh, how was that?
And it was great. We sat on like the surface of the sun. We sat way, way, way upstairs.
I
It
haven't.
was so hot.
I think the East Coast is the least traveled on my repertoire. Like I haven't. I've been to DC.
You should go to the Big East tournament.
If I wasn't going to Vegas, that'd be something I would
Consider it.
I would, because I wanted
Is
to
it
go
the same week of the Big East tournament?
Why don't we go on the company dime?
No,
I'm just saying that you should go. Period. In any time.
I really. Oh no, I will eventually go to the Big East tournament in my life. But I'm going to vacation in April, and then I'm going to do like another. When I do my vacation in April, we will have a crossover probably in May, where it's like, all right, guys, where's Matt? What's a city that Matt hasn't been to that Matt should go
and then we
to?
pick our next one.
And we pick our next one.
Cool. That'll be fun.
But Vegas is so I was going to take a separate trip in February back to Chicago for Elimination Chamber. But all of my loser friends don't want to go. So
They sound like cool people, actually.
they were like,
I would go with you.
Too expensive.
I would go with you, but I have a child.
I know. I feel like that'd be an awkward trip if you like slept at my parents' house, you know?
Oh, that wouldn't be awkward for me at all. I would just do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not asleep at your parents' house, guy.
Gary's going to sleep at my parents' house.
No, he's
in
going to get a
September.
hotel room.
I did tell him, I go, if you don't want to sleep in my childhood bed,
Hotels are expensive.
there's a Holiday Inn right next to it.
Yeah, but it's worth it. It's
for
worth
him.
it.
I ain't paying for his.
No, nobody. You wouldn't be expected to.
We'll go on the company dime.
That's right.
Well, Gary and I will make content.
Creighton does play DePaul every year.
They do.
People forget about
That's
that.
right.
I don't forget about it. It was a great called game the last time they were in DePaul. It was whoever the announcer
Some
was.
say the best.
Yeah, whoever the announcer was, man, they got to give him more shots. That's just one man's opinion.
He'll
though.
get a shot Monday and Tuesday.
We're shooting. All right.
I'm so happy for you, dude, about the Vegas stuff.
I'm
Like, good
excited.
on you. That's going to be awesome.
Let's rock and roll. We'll talk to you guys. Well, show's over. I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Bye
Okay.
from Vegas.
Yeah, you guys are going to have what, a show for an hour on Monday and a show for
No, 12:30 pregame.
but like the Matt Rule press conference.
Yes.
So
So we'll go 10 to 11:30.
and then we'll be done.
Are we crossing over on Monday? I would love to.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, it'll just be me and TBD. Gary won't be in.
Okay.
So I have to text somebody. I have one person in mind who you would very much like.
Mike Schaefer.
Different Mike.
Mike Stibbs.
Mike Brunts. Michael.
I gotta tell. I haven't. Michael doesn't know I'm going to ask.
I had Brunts do a couple radio shows with me once, and then I got the sense that he was too busy.
So Brunts and I aren't really friends, but
Ooh, even better.
There's like a mutual respect between us. Like we've had very brief conversations and always have laughed and had a good time at them. And I texted him one time because I was very desperate to find a fill in, and I was like, "Hey, would you be willing to do this?" And he goes, "I can't do it here, but like I would love to do it in the future." So I don't know how a Brunts McMaster show would go. I have no clue.
Here, I'm sure it would be great. Here is Greg in Myrtle Beach.
Hi, Greg.
The Empire State Building cheated and became the world's tallest over the Chrysler Building due to its Zeppelin tower atop. No Zeppelin ever attempted a tower landing there due to high winds and the Hindenburg disaster. Thank you.
I think
Greg in
that's
Myrtle Beach.
what I was taught in Chicago history. That was probably that building that tried being taller. Look at that chicken piccata. Oh my God. Those are great. Look at those capers, how seasoned they are. Crap, man.
All right. I think that's it. I think that's the crossover.
Why would I make chicken piccata at home when I can just go to a banquet of any kind
Yeah,
and get it?
Olivia Munn is still doing the show?
Yeah.
All right.
See,
It's her week.
It's a permanent situation. All right. See you guys. Or see you.
I was going to say, okay, I can go.
Have a good weekend, Matt.
Butcher this piccata.
Have a good weekend. That's the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair at Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Friday. We'll start things off next.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Welcome in. Happy Friday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Odson with you. It's Friday, Josh. What is there not to be excited about?
Great take.
This is, it's the end of a long week. All the weeks are long. The weeks seem like they're getting longer because the days are getting shorter.
That's right.
Things like that. We're going to bring our own juice today. I have a goal to be entertaining and funny today.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Good goal.
And we're going to do that so that the blow is softened when we inevitably talk about the 1982 Penn State game.
I think that's going to come up today.
I watched the last series last night. I did. I watched it.
What'd you see? What'd you learn?
I didn't like anything.
Okay.
I didn't like anything about what I saw.
Did you clamor for instant replay?
There's one guy I did.
Oh,
that would have been a quick review. That would have been one of the, what do they call them now? The Insta reviews or
booth initiated.
Yeah.
review.
I mean, it was late. It was inside 2 minutes and the whole thing. Like it would have been, there was two plays, of course, that would have been probably overturned, potentially instantaneously. So that will come up today in our history lesson. And of course, we'll hear from 1940s man when we go back to 1920 today.
Whoa.
That was the first time Nebraska and Penn State ever met on the gridiron. On the gridiron. A lot of history between these two teams, Josh. Nebraska and Penn State. And another chapter will be written on Saturday night. And guess who is going to be in the house? The same guy who threw both of those passes that probably should have been incomplete. Todd Blackledge. He'll be hanging out with Noah Eagle. Hopefully Noah Eagle has also watched the 1982 Penn State-Nebraska game.
I heard you guys talking about it, so I fired it up on
That's
YouTube.
That's not how he sounds. Noah Eagle is good, Josh.
He's a friend of the Grum.
A former co-host of mine went to school with him and held a grudge against him just because he's so successful and he's kind of, he's like a Nepo baby, but he's like, so
he's good at those.
I texted him. I texted this person a couple of weeks ago and I was like, hey man, just wanted to check in. Noah Eagle's really good at his job. And he's like, stop it. Stop it. Nope. But he is. He is. And so we get the great pleasure of listening to that broadcast instead of what could be any broadcast. It could be a lot worse.
So as
we've experienced.
Is Paul Burmeister doing the Washington UCLA game?
I don't know what Paul Burmeister is doing.
Okay.
I'm not sure what he's cooking this week. You want to check the tape on that?
I'm on it. Oh, he is doing Washington UCLA. Look at that with Yogi Roth.
That makes sense. All right. So here we are on a Friday. Bryan Munson will join us at the top of the hour. There is quite the recruiting update, I think, this week. Did you know Nebraska didn't lose just one, but two commits this week?
Two?
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the other guy.
I legit don't know what we're talking about.
His name is Leon.
That's a good football name.
It's a great football name. What if I told you his last name was Noyle?
That lessens the Leon.
No, it's better. Leon Noyle. That's a great name. So we'll talk about that more with Munson coming up here in about 20 minutes. And, so BC reached out yesterday. He's like, hey, it ain't working. It's not going to happen.
It's an all-day travel.
And I said, that makes sense. I did not even reach out to Simple. This is a rare 0% chance. I always give him a little chance, because if he's available, he'll make it happen. But this is a 0% chance. So he is not on the rundown, and we will not call him today.
We won't.
We won't even bother.
We're going to leave you wondering, Sip.
So that's the lineup power. Maybe it would have worked out. Maybe I could send him a text still, but I don't think we're.
I think we got it.
I don't think we're in good shape there. That's the lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard, or the non-lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We want to hear from you all today on the show, 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. You can call or text that number, tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed, email Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. So we say good morning to our YouTube streamers today. Hello, YouTube streamers.
Hello, friends.
How we doing? Black Cat says we could pencil in Random Mike in Sipple's spot, I'm sure. Random Mike is like a 125, like twice a week guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think, have we hit the quota yet
We
this
have
week?
talked to him twice this week.
Okay.
He's always welcome.
I don't think he's usually a Friday guy, but you never know. We'll always take your calls on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. I'm excited for the weekend of football that we have ahead, Josh. It's a big week. It's a big
Should be good.
opportunity. Talking T-fees.
You're starting to realize, hey, fewer and fewer of these opportunities left.
Well, two to be exact. And then I guess there's a third.
Some teams have just one.
But will the third opportunity be like, will it be fun? And will it be like, I can't wait to play this football game? Or will it be like, oh my God, can we just please get this over with?
I'm guessing the latter.
Now, we won't have the portal leading into the bowl game this year, which is, I don't know, maybe good for the bowl games, you know?
Yeah.
But guys will be opting out because of their intentions to enter the portal and things like that. But we get another chapter of the TJ Lateef story written this weekend. And we gotta talk a little bit about Nebraska ball.
Longest win streak in the nation. I don't know if you knew about that.
It was extended last night, even through a man getting punched in the back of the head and losing a part of a tooth.
A tooth?
And his name was Connor.
You can't be hitting my guy Connor.
Nebraska, handshake beam, Kansas City, and a big game tonight against Kansas State. Do you have the big game feels in your tum-tum, Josh, for Nebraska ball and K-State tonight?
At this second, I do not, but when I am on my couch tonight,
it might feel like it.
It might, yeah.
There'll be some purple in the building. There'll be some red in the building. Yeah, people will be ready to go. So we'll touch on Nebraska ball last night. We'll also get to the ridiculous football game last night in Houston. I kept looking up and, I was getting ready for the show, and it was still the first half. It kept being the first half.
That was a long-ass game.
For an extraordinary period of time. And then I kept looking up, and Josh Allen kept getting sacked and injured. Is he okay? Is Josh Allen okay? Or are we going to have to remove the Bills from the trust tree in the nest?
Boy, I got some questions about the Bills.
They don't have many of their playmaking people that are out there and available to them at this moment.
Their playmakers were not the best playmakers to begin with.
That's true.
And to lose them.
But they do have Josh Allen.
Great playmaker.
They do have Josh Allen. He's a playmaker. But you can only throw it to Khalil Shakir so many times.
You can only have a play breakdown and run for 12 yards so many times.
Especially when Will Anderson, that freak, is on the other side. Holy crap, that guy is insane. Jeff writes in,
Hi, Jeff.
Yay, more Nebraska ball jokes. What do you mean, Jeff? What do you mean? They're good.
I've genuinely turned over a new leaf, and I'm giving this team a chance because they play watchable basketball.
I got a text from Mike Schaefer this morning.
Mike Schaefer.
It said,
thanks for the donuts.
Can you do me a favor today?
Whoa.
And then the second text was this: check the whiteboard. And I said, okay. I'm looking at the whiteboard right now. There is a prediction from Schaefer on there.
Oh, no.
Nebraska ball will make NCAA tourney dash Schaefer.
Oh, okay, that one.
Do you see that?
I thought his car ran out of gas.
Nebraska ball will make NCAA tourney. You're starting to hear it more and more. They're looking good. They're looking good right now. So, yes, we'll talk about them a little bit as we go on throughout the show today. Glad you're with us. We'll continue on. Munson at the top of the hour. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone. All right, welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. That comment from the YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Well, first of all, the average Blue Space Jays fans' jealousy of Nebraska ball winning games in April is just sad. It is.
The Toronto Blue Jays win a ton of games in April. What are you talking about?
They do. It's probably at least like 10 every year.
Yeah.
Be my guess, unless they have a really bad April. That's what Travis is talking about, the Blue Space Jays. And then Spruce Springsteen writes in,
Hi, Spruce Springsteen.
are y'all joining Antifa or what? Josh, can you comment?
I'm not prepared to announce anything today.
I'm
rooting for him.
I'm kind of a Tiffy.
We've learned that about you.
I
this
think
week.
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a Tiffy.
I hope that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about. I applaud our dear friend Karen for creating that, and then quickly mocking up some T-shirts. I think that people can buy.
Toronto Blue Jays won 11 games in April.
Is there 11? Wow, it's close.
You were.
There could be like Antifa in like anti-Tifa.
Ooh.
Or something like that.
Okay. We could tinker with that. There's something there.
Josh, are you a Tiffy?
I will tell you on Monday.
No. You have to answer right now. Are you a Tiffy?
I mean, sure.
Because if you're a Tiffy right now, all that means is you just want this. You want this to work.
Oh yeah, I want this to work.
I want this to work. I want Nebraska to win on Saturday.
I'm teefed up.
I'm all teefed up. Texter says Josh seems like the Antifa type.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It just says you might like Tiffys. Here's Pedro.
Hi, Pedro.
Hi, guys. Connor and Josh, there is going to be more publicity about Nebraska basketball making the NCAA tournament than anything Creighton has done over the past 10 years. Creighton is one of the most exciting teams to play in this state. Why the disconnect? Oh, Pedro, you know the answer to that, because everybody in this state has a connection to not everybody in the state, but the majority of the state has a connection to the Big Red. Sure. And Creighton is just an Omaha thing.
Yeah.
That's
I get
why.
it. That's fine.
That's why. That's all.
Longest win streak of the nation. Scoring points in buckets.
I'm gonna check my little Kem Pom.
What's your little Kem Pom thing you say about Nebraska?
What does it say about Nebraska? I'm sure it says good things after last night. It says 40, and then there's a big yellow bar that says nation's longest active win streak,
You're
9.
damn right.
This is a big game tonight. Ken Pom says Nebraska on a neutral floor against Kansas State is a 2-point winner tonight.
Hello.
86-84. And then Winthrop. And then South Carolina upstate. And then Creighton. Are you excited for the Creighton-Nebraska game this year?
Oof. That could be bad for you and me, Connor, but
I don't know who would be bad.
Yeah. I have a question.
All right.
Let's
answer it. We got time.
How come New York and South Carolina are the only two states where you hear, oh, it's upstate somewhere?
Is that true?
We don't really say anything in Nebraska is upstate. Do we?
Well, like it makes sense for New York because upstate New York is like that's an actual place.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if South Carolina
Clearly they have an upstate.
But is that just a filler word for like north?
Okay.
I don't know. Nobody would say northern New York, or I guess they do say western New York when they're referring to Buffalo, but
all the time.
Upstate is a different thing. I think that's just a New York thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dwayne the Rock Hudson writes in, he says, Idahoans say upstate.
Because they got that big panhandle, right?
Yeah, it reaches way up there.
Just keeps going.
Stibbs is a very common sense response from Stibbs. Is it possibly because the main metro areas are in the southern part of the state?
Absolutely.
Probably. Yes. Here is Mustache Adam.
Hi, Mustache.
We can talk about this as we go on throughout the show today. a couple days late, but I have an opinion. You could be pro Latif without being a Tifi. When I think of a Tifi, I think someone who genuinely believes he is better for Nebraska than Dylan. He has not proven that yet, but he has the opportunity. Can I be okay?
We talked about this yesterday.
By Mustache Adams' definition, I'm probably not quite a Tifi. I'm somewhere in between. But I do think you could very easily build the case from a football perspective, from a football side of things, not a like this guy's all about himself or this guy's not, and all that. From a football perspective, I think you could still build the case that TJ Latif gives Nebraska what they need, and he is better for them because he can, move with his legs, makes things a little bit easier on the offensive line. Nebraska's not at the place from a program perspective right now where they're just, they got a bunch of 5-star offensive linemen and they could develop them and everything is just a little bit harder. And there's that piece of it. And I think what we have seen from TJ so far is that he, what did Frost and Verduzco always say about the quarterbacks? Quick blinkers. I think TJ seems like a fast blinker to me. And that's just hopefully in theory, you can coach that into guys. In theory, you could develop that over a period of time. And in theory, it comes with experience, but I don't know that it's happened as fast for Dylan as people want it to happen. And so when you seemingly have it with TJ Latif, people are like, all right, well, we don't, there's not a whole lot of work to do here. But like Josh said, we'll see what happens tomorrow night. How will it look worse, and how much worse will it look?
I assume it will look worse
from what it was against
I
UCLA.
assume he will throw an incompletion in one of the first 3 quarters of the game.
Put it on the board for Josh.
Yeah.
TJ Latif will throw an incompletion in one of the first 3 quarters of the game.
Go ahead and do that. Maybe even all 3.
At least one incompletion. But he gives you a little bit of dynamic ability, which is going to be important, especially in a game like this where, Penn State has some really talented guys along the defensive line. So, yeah, we'll hear it in one of my keys later. From the 402.
Hi, 402.
Upstate in New York is anything but New York City.
Yeah.
Kind of, yes. Gregor in Myrtle Beach comments on South Carolina.
Oh, he would know,
upstate.
yeah.
South Carolina upstate is the University of South Carolina branch campus with 2 NAIA men's hoops natties. It is in Spartanburg, South Carolina, the hometown of Zion Williamson, Debo Samuel, and the Marshall Tucker Band.
Whoa.
Now that is a town. I've been to Spartanburg, South Carolina.
I have not.
Passed through.
I have been.
Full question. Have you ever been to Spartanburg, South Carolina?
I have been to South Carolina, not Spartanburg.
Not Spartanburg. John writes in.
Hi, John.
Hey, guys. Sorry, Bronson all over the place. Hey, guys. Do we know how many tickets have been sold for the football game? Will there be a lot of empty seats? Judging off of just what is coming out of Penn State this week, my guess would be yes. But it is one of those places where they just go up, they just go to the football game, because it's part of their culture, it's part of their DNA. A lot like here. I don't know if there's going to be 100,000 people there, but my guess would be that it'll look full on TV. It's a night game. Now, how engaged will they be, and how important will it feel? I think that's a completely different story.
Senior night. My
guess would be that there's going to be a lot of people there. But how much will they really care? And the conversation this week is not about that. It's about who's the head coach going to be, and consternation about James Franklin. James Franklin right now is taking Penn State players that committed to him at Penn State, as could be a year ago, could be less than 3 months ago, and having them visit Virginia Tech this weekend, where he is now the head coach. I think that's a pretty fascinating storyline. That'd be like if Scott Frost, when he got fired, just immediately went down and became the coach at Kansas State, and he started getting official visitors who were committed to Nebraska to visit Kansas State at the end of the season. People would lose their bleep over that. So, yeah, I think it makes a little bit of sense why the focus and attention isn't completely on the game this week. That and they don't really care about getting to a bowl game. I mean, their season is the book on 2025 Penn State has already been written. The rest is not still unwritten. It's written, Josh. All right, when we come back, Bryan Munson from HuskerOnline.com. Oh, by the way, we get this comment from Doug in Idaho.
Hi, Doug.
Hap, did you see what Jerry DiNardo had to say about Nebraska and Penn State since their starting quarterbacks went out pretty blunt that GBRO was better with TJ and neither team has missed their starters? Yeah, I did. I did see that.
You did see that.
I did see that. And
did you make some pasta sauce afterwards?
We can talk about it today on the program. It adds to the TV conversation, that's for sure. We're back after this with Munson on 1620 The Zone.
Bryan Munson,
Hey, long call. Comfy left zoom buster. 63 bang. Z Maui. Alert. Paradise Z Burger Y Wrap on one.
Husker Online on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, here we go. Let's have our weekly Friday chat with our good friend Bryan Munson from HuskerOnline.com. So we've hit bagels, we've hit yacht rock, we've hit a variety of different things. Anything on your mind, Munson?
It is. I need some opinions here.
Okay, we got opinions.
When you think about your Thursday Thanksgiving turkey, is it baked, is it smoked, or is it fried?
I like to have options. Mm-hmm. I think it's fried. I think it's fried.
Yeah, I'm a fried guy myself too. I did not partake in it until I got to Texas.
Yeah. Do you do that? Do you have the whole big thing where you dip the thing in the? Yeah, okay, good.
Oh, brother, I'll be out there. So I got a flip down television set. So I will be out in the garage, doing whatever, kicking back, adult beverage, chair, watching a pot boil with grease, and just that is honestly a terrific thing for me to do.
Be safe, because we've seen some bad things happen with that over the years. But I have full confidence in you that you have the ability to do this safely.
So there's a couple secrets there. Obviously, the bird's got to be completely thawed, but the second thing to do is before you put in the oil and start everything up, you can take the bird and put it in the pot and fill it basically with water until you get the bird covered. That way, you're not going to overfill the pot with oil and have it all bubbling out over the sides of it.
Good.
So you can kind of do that to be safe about stuff. That's why I don't feel like too much is at risk when I do it in my garage as opposed to doing it outside.
Potential graphic idea or something. We could make like a cover for your cookbook, your upcoming cookbook. We would Photoshop you with an apron on, and it's like Munson's, Thanksgiving cooking details. How to do Thanksgiving right with Bryan Munson.
That's right. I tell you what, my son will come outside. We'll get the bar out, not the bar. We'll get the weightlifting bar out, and we'll start weightlifting too as we're doing stuff.
What?
When things are done, we move to the inside.
Wait a minute. What? So you're sitting out there with a bunch of beer, a turkey fryer, and a barbell? What is going on? Is this
a whole weightlifting set out there, man? We go to town. We're doing. Yeah, we're doing all the things out there, bro.
That's amazing. You're doing sets while the thing is cooking?
Absolutely. That pot's rolling over there in the corner. We're taking turns on the bench press.
Wow.
We're using we get the deadlift bar out.
Wow.
It's good stuff.
I would like to see a picture or a video. That's my request to you. Please send me a picture.
We will accommodate.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we have another question before we go forward here. A YouTube commenter is asking me to ask, what is the biggest playoff game in Texas this week for high school?
Ooh, boy, I kind of shut down my playoff talk. What's let me. High school. Who's South Lake Hera playing this week? They beat Crowley last week. I'll get you an answer by the time we're done with the segment.
Okay, perfect. All right, we'll stew on that for a little while. And I'm also to understand that we are not talking about the Bills today. Is this right?
I'm telling you, those guys need a little toughness. I saw defensive linemen for the Houston Texans last night spin off the back of Buffalo Bill offensive lineman, only to put the Bill offensive lineman on his face in the ground, sacking Josh Allen, and then they couldn't get back up again. I was just like, I don't know if they're all just like walking wounded right now, or what's going on. It is. They are really, really either beat up or they need a stern talking to, like somebody to get really upset and challenged, because I don't think it's a very tough team at the moment.
Yeah.
And I hate saying that, but I kind of feel it.
Yeah. Well, luckily you got some time to straighten that out. But it was a little eye-opening, indeed. last night.
I turned it off. I turned it off, bro.
It was sort of a tough watch. I mean, like, it was a great game, but it was sort of a tough watch. Like, dudes were getting injured all over the place, including refs like popping Achilles and stuff like that. Like, it was a slog of a game.
It was, even when I was getting notifications that hey, the Bills and Josh Allen have moved into the red zone, and I'm like, just wait. Like, it was just one of those like responses that I had like from last night. It was just like, okay, it'll go away. Don't worry about it. It's like one of those deals. So I was not very impressed last night. I don't know how they got past Tampa the week before. They definitely play better at home, but last night they just looked broke. They just looked totally broke.
All right, there's stuff to talk about obviously this week in recruiting. Even though I have a variety of different follow-up questions on all of the Thanksgiving events and the Bills and all that stuff. But let's get to the important stuff. So Nebraska and Matt Rule are in Buford. They're talking. They're visiting with Dayton Raiola at the end of last week, and then Wednesday morning it's announced that he is decommitted from Nebraska. What precipitated this? Whether it be from his side or the Nebraska side, and how would you read it? Not necessarily even the aftermath, which we'll get to, but why this and why now?
Yeah, well, I think that there's a few different storylines here, and I think I'm somewhere in between all of them. I'll try to touch on all of them. I think the first one, and I think I'm mainly in this camp. I think it's probably 60%. Probably feel like this is probably the most truthful, but I do believe that that through basically Dayton's journey of becoming a high school starting quarterback, the long cast shadow that his brother Dylan had, the consistent comparisons that were made between he and his brother, maybe even like the 11-0 or soon to be 12-0 run that they have made so far, kind of validating maybe him becoming his own guy. I think he really found himself and understood the discipline that it took really to become a high school quarterback earlier this spring. He went to work. I mean, some of the things that I documented and I wrote about, like in 3 and Out and other various stories with him, it was really telling how much he wanted it. And I think that he didn't want to give any of his teammates like the reason to know like that he let them down. He wasn't going to be the weakest link on that team this year. I think at times last year he probably felt that he did. He had a couple passes last year that he wanted back. So I think number one is he didn't feel like he needed to follow Dylan as much as maybe what he did 2 years ago, and maybe that Nebraska, he didn't need to go there because of his dad either, that he could blaze his own trail. That's maybe the first thing, and I think I kind of am more in that camp. However, there are some compelling things that are also kind of going on currently in the room. First of all, his brother's hurt. Yep. Since his brother's been hurt, TJ Lateef came in against USC and opened some eyes. Maybe Nebraska, if they dial in a couple more RPOs, maybe that game, who knows? But he does go on the road, beats UCLA at Westwood. If TJ was going to go 1-1 over the next 2 weeks, I felt like there was going to be a massive quarterback controversy in Lincoln. A massive quarterback controversy. And in 2-0, I don't even know like what that story and what the chatter might have been. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that could still actually, that's still actually going to happen. I'm treating Dylan as Dayton, and it's not right. If TJ goes 1-1 over the next couple of weeks, or 2-0, there's going to be a real quarterback controversy on Nebraska's hands, and Dylan, may decide, and this is a lot of people are alluding to it too, that he's going to go ahead and pack up and leave and go someplace else. So are the Raiola names and quarterbacks tied to one another? I don't think so necessarily. I don't think that Dayton was is foreshadowing anything happening with Dylan necessarily. I also don't think that either one of them are tied to the long-term situation with Donovan as a coach on Matt Rule's staff either. I don't think that there was ever any type of association there. Does Dylan prefer, or Dayton prefer, to have Uncle around Lincoln and on the roster if they were going to become Huskers? I think the answer would be yes to that. But I don't think that there was ever anything that said, if you're not going to have my uncle on the staff, I'm not going to be there. So I think that there's him stepping out, wanting to be his own man, wanting to do his own thing, showing everybody that he can do it. He's developed some confidence. And I think also that picture with TJ and Trey, and potentially without brother, if that's what was really kind of maybe not going on the 60% I mentioned before, that picture could really, really, really change here over the next 2 weeks, So I think I'm somewhere in there. I think that I also put up last night in Tunnel Talk, and actually ran this morning. I think that there's going to be some suitors that are going to come forward for Dayton.
That was my next question. Where do you think he ends up, or what direction are we pointing here with him?
I think you're still talking P4. Believe it or not, I think that there's going to be some P4s, some G5s that definitely are going to come in. There was a big decommitment last night with the Cal quarterback out there in Berkeley. Hayes Fawcett, the guy that runs all the edits for all the stuff on 3, alluded to a lot of 2026 quarterback action happening. Now, put this into perspective. You got 3 weeks before signing day. How much 2027 activity or 2026 quarterback activity can we really be talking about?
Right.
But I mean, every time you and I talked about it, every time that there is a quarterback activity, there is an equal and opposite, reaction to it.
Yep.
It's just like the coaching musical chairs that I kind of mentioned as well. Like, you've got these vacancies. Maybe they don't have a quarterback. Maybe they have a quarterback that the new head coach isn't going to like. Maybe Dayton is a little bit more of a safer, non-specific, more of a kind of satisfies multiple areas with better than brothers mobility, still a strong arm, and kind of an impressionable high ceiling kind of guy. But you're going to have the coaching placements. You're going to have coaches that are going to leave from other places to another round of coaching changes, and you're going to have these quarterbacks that subsequently are another layer to all that. I think that's going to present some opportunity for Dayton to do something else. But I'm not listening to people tell me that he can't get into P4. I think he can get into P4. I think G5 is a certainty that he could do it. But I think there's going to be some P4 schools that will start sniffing around on Buford, particularly now that they're still going. They can really evaluate him almost real time as Buford keeps the playoff run alive.
I said this off the top the other day, and I think we both agreed on this when we talked about Dayton. We both liked him quite a lot as a player, or like him quite a lot as a player. Like he's different than his brother in a variety of different ways, and he has this kind of certain style to him. I agree with you. I think he'll end up in a soft landing spot. But the question then becomes, and you alluded to it before, are him and his brother some sort of, if somebody's going to enter the Dayton stakes right now, then are they doing so with the thought in the back of their head of like, does this position us better to get Dylan on the portal trail, right? Like I wonder how much that could factor into any sort of recruitment for Dayton too.
I'm certain that if you're talking about elite P4s that could be in the Dylan market, if they have if their current quarterback goes pro suddenly, or something else changes. If you have like one of those types of programs that are Dylan, that would be in the market for a Dylan if he decided to go in the portal, I don't think that those types of programs are going to have a come along buddy program. I just don't feel like they necessarily have to operate that way. But I mean, it's certainly possible. But I think before though, I think that Dayton is completely comfortable being around a place where there isn't another player or a person around whose last name is Raiola. I think that he feels like he can go out there and accomplish stuff. And I tell you what, I think it says a lot about him as an individual. I think it really does. I think that that's the way he's really feeling about stuff, and that's what I've been told. Then I think that's good on him, and he's probably going to be able to ride that into playing somewhere, collegiately, and it's going to be a better situation, I think, than what some people are kind of saying he's worth right now.
Another decommitment this week. Where did the Leon Noyle decommitment come from, and what were the events that sort of precipitated that one?
Yeah, coming off of his visit the week before, I was really in contact. I mentioned this in Tunnel Talk. I was in contact with him basically the whole entire weekend because I didn't have a number for the other Edna Carr player. And I was really struggling to find a way to get in touch with him because it was not just Leon being on campus, but it was also his other, his junior teammate that had an offer from Nebraska as well. And I wanted to make sure I got both those guys. So Leon was very accommodating all weekend. He always has been. He always has been very easy to reach. So is Dayton, for that matter. And I kind of mentioned this whole kind of conspiracy theory thing that I drew up last night as well. But about the time that they got back to New Orleans, after the Nebraska visit, maybe a day later. I mean, if it was Tuesday night, I'd be surprised because it seemed like it was just immediately. But there was already rumors like popping up that he was going to be going to Mississippi State for a visit. He took an official visit there in the summer. I know that both Mississippi State and Baylor had continued to recruit Noyle, even though he committed to Nebraska. So he decides to take that visit, go over to Mississippi State, and as he got back, decided to go ahead and step away from his commitment to Nebraska. Now I'll go ahead and say that I've talked to several people that have watched Leon Noyle in person, and when I talk to them about like where he's playing currently as like left tackle, he's in that role currently right now. He's a skinny lower trunk, like tree trunk guy, right? He's going to probably have a lot of difficulty putting on weight. So then when you think about the idea that Nebraska was really looking at him to put him into the interior side in the Big Ten, you probably faced a challenge. You probably faced a challenge in how he was going to kind of support all of that. So we always talk about also like working outside in is easier than inside out. So maybe Leon had a couple of things going in his way, going in his favor when it came to like playing outside and moving inside at the next level. But I still think weight was going to be a concern. I think also, that's a very, very, very good Edna Carr team. I think that he was going to have some challenges. I'm going to be very interested to see like where he ends up. If he decides to go to the SEC, what kind of career there is for him there. It almost feels like Baylor's a better fit. It was Nebraska still got like Rex Waterman and Hayden Ainsworth, who I think can play, inside. And I think that, they're also talking about bringing in that big JUCO next Friday as well. So I think Nebraska, maybe on the surface, this one maybe looks like it hurts a little bit more. I think in the end, it's gonna kind of, I'm gonna flip that a little bit. I'm gonna feel better, like maybe this was somebody that might have not necessarily been able to kind of cut it in the Big Ten at Nebraska, and maybe not been able to play that position and get up to the right size that they're looking for on the line.
We'll leave you with this. Do you expect Nebraska to be throw their hat in the ring for any other quarterback in the 2026 cycle?
I know somebody's been pinging me about Jet Tamala, and Jet Tamala is going to sign 2 weeks with Alabama. I mean, there's no doubt he'll be in Tuscaloosa like in basically like 2 or 2.5 weeks, right? Like he'll be down there immediately. That being said, I don't think that would be a great decision by Nebraska. I think that they have to figure out what's going to happen with Dylan, how he returns from his injury. What has Dylan maybe got on his mind as we enter into the portal time in January? Does Nebraska maybe feel with having Latif and Trey being a year away that they need another kind of Gramstad, stopgap junior college guy that they can bring in like a Davia. It's possible that I could actually see a lot more than them all of a sudden deciding to get really interested in bringing a 2026 for an official visit next Friday. I really think that they'll do something else like that.
Me too. Okay, so any we got a couple suggestions for big games in Texas high school football. Somebody's talking about North Forney going down tonight. I don't know. Anything
North
come to your mind?
I tell you what, we played North Forney this year. North Forney's quarterback, that dude that's going to Ohio State now and flipped on his commitment, that's probably the second fastest guy I've ever seen in high school football.
Wow.
I mean, he is incredible. I'll go ahead and say one that's a little bit more closer to home for me. I got Rockwall Heath and Duncanville. So Rockwall Heath is across the road. They're our rivals. Duncanville is a program, however, that ended my son's high school career when they were making a run into the semifinals in 2019. So that game is really interesting. Rockwall Heath kind of hitting their stride, has a similar-ish kind of quarterback that North Forney does, like not a great quarterback guy, but an amazing athlete. So I'm kind of interested. I'm definitely interested in the North Forney game, but I also like the Rockwall Heath Duncanville game as well.
All right, awesome. Well, enjoy your weekend and enjoy your Thanksgiving, because we'll see what happens next Friday. Well, we won't be on the air because there'll be a football game going at that time. So never mind. We won't talk to you next week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving and pump that iron. It'll be good for you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, all your listeners. We'll catch up with you afterward.
Bryan Munson from HuskerOnline.com. What an image. What an image. I wasn't going to just breeze by. Yeah, we pull the barbell out there and just start pumping iron. Could you imagine that picture? He's got the turkey fryer out. And
there's no more masculine image I can create for dipping the turkey.
Yeah, and it's not like it's warm outside. Like it's okay because it's Texas. So it's not like it's hot, or anything like that. Like we're talking about, that is an amazing picture. That is an amazing picture. By the way, the quarterback that he was referencing, and thank you for this listener who was all up on Texas high school football.
Yeah.
Legend Bay. He's the North Forney guy that's committed to Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Holy
great
smokes.
name.
Yeah, this guy. I like his name, first of all. And his profile picture on 24/7 Sports for his recruiting profile is he's got that look. He's just looking like this. 5'10.5" though. And Munson said he's one of the fastest guys he's ever seen. How about that? So is that wow, his track times are pretty absurd, actually. Threw for 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns the regular season, and ran for 1,600 yards. So is this Braxton Miller? Is this your Braxton Miller redux?
Oh, wow.
Could be. So keep an eye on Legend Bay if you're interested. Did you see the video from the Texas high school football where they all met at the gas station like on Friday Night Lights and they flipped the coin?
No.
That actually happened in real life a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
I missed that.
You got to check that out. It's great. It's great.
Did they do it because of the movie, or did the movie accurately depict the way they do it?
Yeah, I think they had to do it because it's the rule. They all met at a neutral gas station.
Neutral gas.
Now, are these going to be black zebras or white zebras? Are these going to be zebras with black stripes or white stripes? Well, I believe that zebras have both black and white stripes. What a movie.
Brian mentioned the second fastest high school athlete. That was Legend Bay, correct?
Legend Bay, yeah.
So it brought up the question, who was the fastest? Many were wondering in the YouTube chat.
Well, that would have been a great follow-up.
I texted Brian.
Oh, great. You got me, Josh. Thank you.
Marquise Goodwin from Rowlett High School, maybe Rowlett
High School. And he ended up at USC?
And the San Francisco 49ers and the Olympics.
Ah, yes, of the Olympics.
Of the Olympics.
Chance writes in Legend Bay, the harbor. Great job, Josh. Great job. And Bigley writes in,
Hi, Bigley.
can't we just start talking about undefeated Nebraska teams like Freddie Ball? Yes, let's talk about Freddie Ball.
I like calling it Freddie Ball.
I don't think I do. I think there's an easy name out there. It's Hoy Ball.
Hoy Ball?
Yeah, Hoy Ball with the Hoy Boys last night.
Hoy Ball with the Hoy Boys is
nice. I've been calling them the Hoy Boys for the last
Okay.
couple of years. And they're Hoy balling, that's for sure. Freddie Ball. Give me a break. Back after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, quick studio update. During the break, Josh and I are having a conversation, and Josh was going to say something.
I was.
And then it started in a way, and I said, oh, no. And then, so I was looking forward to where that was going to go. But then Matt McMaster, like the Kool-Aid man, busts through the door.
Oh, yeah.
He's got 2 bowls. 2 bowls. All right, let me go grab this bowl. He's got a bowl that looks like what Josh has, and he's got a bowl that looks like this.
Oh, did you get a bigger bowl? Interesting.
Maybe. And
My
he
wife
says,
and I adopted Matt, but he gave you the bigger bowl.
He says, here you go. Here you go. And I was like, okay. And he goes, it's chicken. So he did roast that chicken after all. I didn't realize that he roasted a 10-pound chicken.
That's a lot.
And he goes, I needed to give people chicken. And I was like, I don't really want to take this. So I just started eating it, and he was kind of floored by that. But thanks, Matt, for the chicken. Thanks, Matt, for the chicken. Josh, anything you want to say to Matt?
I eagerly anticipate eating the chicken and getting my wife's opinion on the chicken.
Oh, you're going to take it home?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just don't like taking stuff home.
I mean, I got tons of crap at my house anyway. What's one more thing?
Bowls, things like
up.
that. Yeah, that's right, Black Cat. 10 pounds of
10
chicken.
Pounds.
Craigie says nobody wants your chicken, Matt. Weirdo. I mean,
whoa.
I if he would have asked, like, hey, do you want some chicken? I could bring it to you. I would have said no. But I mean, he brought it, so got after it.
You were eating it cold during the break.
I'm gonna have another piece.
Yeah,
another couple pieces during the break.
I mean, there's no popcorn.
Brandon says, "Oh, great, we're eating on air again." No, we're not. We're eating during the breaks.
There's a difference.
Thank you very much. We're eating during the breaks. Nebraska ball, Josh.
The Hoy boys.
Are we not allowed to talk about Nebraska ball anymore? Because
nobody takes us serious.
Anytime I talk about Nebraska ball, people are just like, "Well, you guys are slanted and you hate them anyway." So
we give them credit.
How are we supposed to take your opinion seriously?
Yeah, no one believes us when we give them credit.
I mean, I think they're pretty dang good.
Sure seems like it.
It's very difficult to tell where the things might end up as far as postseason play is concerned at this point. But right now, they've done literally everything they've been asked to do, starting 5-0 in the season, beating Oklahoma with a nice win the other night. And I thought New Mexico was okay last night. That's a top 100-ish type of team, and beat them on a neutral floor last night with, it only cost Connor Recision half of his tooth. So that's
well worth it.
I think so. Would you pay a half a tooth for a win?
Yeah.
Would you pay a half a tooth for a win in an MTE? Remember MTEs? People were always calling the MTEs. So Nebraska gets Kansas State tonight, late in Kansas City.
That's right.
Making this, by the way, the very rare double Power Cat weekend. A lot of it. We got Penn State. We got K-State. So I want to repeat this again because I didn't feel like we really dove into it coming off of the weekend when they beat Oklahoma. Fred Hoiberg is Nebraska ball's coach.
Yes. That is a fact.
No, but do you know what I'm saying when I say that?
I do not.
I think he feels like the right guy.
Okay.
For the program, and people have accepted him, and we've been through the ups and downs. And when Fred was losing, it was never like, we got to get this guy out of here because of all the reasons that we would always do, like, oh, he doesn't want to be here, and he doesn't. He's never going to find this will never work or anything like that. And I think the appropriate amount of credit for patience should be given to everybody in this, because this is undoubtedly working. I mean, he's gone to an NCAA tournament once. He's been on the doorstep of it 2 other times. And this was all after the first 3 years were complete disasters for Fred Hoiberg. They won 7 games in 10 games. and then flipped it to we're going to be a hard-nosed defensive type of team. 500, feeling good at the end of the year. NCAA tournament, 20 wins and a crown last year, and 5-0 to start this year. They look every bit like an NCAA tournament team so far this year.
Joe Lunardi doesn't think so.
The way that people sort of just, I don't really know how to properly explain it. I don't know that people feel that way like about Rule yet. People have, maybe it's just the fact that we've been through the battles and Nebraska ball has always had the kind of diehard, the diehard few that really, really pay attention to and love Nebraska ball. But like, he's the perfect guy. He's the right guy. And, it probably took some restraint to not just give up after the first 3 years. But it's basketball, and it's specifically Nebraska ball, and you're afforded the opportunity to kind of like see where this thing goes. And it's Fred Hoiberg. Even throughout that time, he was still there's a good basketball coach in there. And there very clearly is a good basketball coach in there. And I think that the thing that they're winning in a variety of different ways. They play with energy. They look like they're having fun. They're getting development, I think, inside the program, whether it be, freshmen that are bursting onto the scene, guys that kind of just continue to get better and their roles expand, or guys like Berke, coming back year over year and looking better. Connor Essegian coming back year over year, looking better, right? And it's not set up how it was last year when you had to be kind of the Bryce Williams, like his usage rate is going to be about, I don't know, let's see what his usage rate was last year. He took 28% of their shots last year for Nebraska, highest on the team. He was active in 27% of the possessions, and he played 84% of the minutes. They were so Bryce Williams heavy last year because they had to. And I think that's credit to Fred. They had to win in that way last year. They had to win the way that they did in 2024 with that team, with their personnel that year. And they found a way to do it in 2023 when they went 500, 2022-23 when they went 500, and found a way to get the most out of that team, even though they were dealt some wrong hands. And so this year is a little bit more. They have some more depth. They could spread out the scoring in a variety of different ways. Obviously, it's the head of the snake is Rink Mast, but
Rink Mast.
You have now put 2 games in a row together where you shot the absolute crap out of the 3, and it could look really, really good. Nebraska is 20th in the country right now in offensive effective field goal percentage. They have the 29th best offense on KenPom right now.
88 points per game.
They're shooting 38% from 3 as a team. They made 13 threes last night. They made 15 threes, I think it was against Oklahoma. 15 threes against Oklahoma, right? They know what their style is.
New Mexico also made 13 threes last night.
Nebraska
shot 44 of them.
Nebraska got up big and let it slip a little bit, but found a way to, dig in and get the job done.
When you're scoring points like that, you can afford the ebbs and flows of a basketball game like that.
At this point of the season, you are always just trying to check boxes. You're trying to see what you're made of. How many different kind of ways can we win basketball games? And for Nebraska, one has really emerged. You find out what they are and what they're going to be. They are going to be a high volume 3-point shooting team, and they're going to be, it seems like, a pretty effective 3-point shooting team. That won't hold up necessarily game by game. There's going to be some nights where it doesn't look good, but I don't think they lack so much the tooth, no pun intended. I don't think they lack this edge to them where they're not going to be able to hold up physically against some of these teams that they're going to play. I think they'll be from right now. New Mexico has built their program off of that. Oklahoma was long and athletic. K-State tonight, they've built their program off of that physicality and having a couple dudes who could score the basketball. And I think they'll hold up fine. And they've been able to replace some of their some of their physical edge with excellent 3-point shooting. And, it's going to change from year to year, but they really got something here. I think all the credit in the world goes to Fred Hoiberg.
Great opportunity tonight.
An excellent opportunity tonight to win an MTE, a whole MTE, Josh. They won an MTE last year, and look what happened. They won the crown.
That's right.
They won.
People forget.
But they also, before that, won the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. The last ever winner of the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic.
Had to shut the whole thing down.
Quick phone call here from Alan on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hey, Alan.
Hi, Connor. I just don't understand really what you're talking about because I'm a Nebraska football fan, and I've grown up that way. And, whenever basketball season came around, I was like, I don't know who my team is. Just because Nebraska always pretty much sucked, except for when Piakowski was there. So can you please help me understand, how does Nebraska basketball start compared to Nebraska football start on a typical year? So I know Nebraska basketball now is doing a lot better than they have in the beginning of the year since past years. So I'm wondering if you could help break it down for me and relate Nebraska basketball start to Nebraska's football start traditionally, because Nebraska football start, they always beat the easy teams. Well, not always. Okay, I take that back. But you know what I'm saying. We get overhyped in the beginning of the season because we play lesser teams. So can you compare that to the Nebraska basketball start for me?
I think I get what you're saying. Thanks for the call, Alan. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't see that many fans right now that are super out over their skis and are like, put us in the conversation for the Final Four, rank us, put us in. Like, I don't see a lot of that right now, and I think that's a healthy reaction simply because of what you haven't seen on the schedule so far. But there is reason to believe that this team can compete with whoever they play on any given night. I think that's what I think that's kind of what you're going for, or what you're asking about anyway. Like, I'm not, I can't guarantee anything today, but they look good against the teams that they're supposed to look good at. And the basketball comp is really hard just because there's so many more games and you're going to lose one that you're probably not supposed to. And there's going to be moments in the season, we are a little bit football pilled, a little bit football brained around here.
Sure.
So when Nebraska inevitably loses at home to Northwestern or something like that, people are going to be like, this is unacceptable. And the truth is, it is acceptable. It's fine.
Valentine's Day, Northwestern is in Lincoln.
Yeah, there you go.
You heard it here first.
Mark it down. They'll lose at home to Northwestern, but they'll go, 12-8 in conference or something like that, and be right there on the doorstep for the NCAA tournament. Sure. We can take another quick phone call. Here's Tony on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hey, Tony.
Guys, appreciate it. I'll be quick. These guys are making me into a believer so much that I'm going to leave work today.
What?
I'm going to leave work a little early, 6 hours within a 9-hour period to go watch a basketball game on a Friday night that I could watch on TV because of two things you guys said. Number one, this year against a decent team, they went down and they came back, which that's a sign of a team that's got some character. And then last night, they allowed a team back in and then slammed the door on. I like all the pieces that Freddie Ball is working with right now.
Freddie Ball.
But, old Husker fans, you might want to think of that drive down I-29 back in the old days when we actually did play in the Big Eight. I mean, you just beat Oklahoma, got a chance to play against Kansas State in their backyard tonight near Kemper Arena. It brings back a lot of good memories. So I hope this continues, but they're definitely making a believer out of me so much that I'm going to head down tonight.
Hey, Tony, where do you live and why does it take you 6 hours to get there?
Well, I mean, 6 hours total, three down.
Gotcha.
So,
I got you.
But, that's within like 2.5, 3 hours to watch the game. 3 down, 3 back. I live near Bennington, so it's every bit of 3 hours for me. But if you live downtown, it's only 2 hours, 45 minutes. But
there you go.
Like I said, it's near Kemper Arena, the old days when we used to play in the Big Eight tournament down there.
Yeah.
A lot of good memories. And I'm going.
Awesome, Tony. Good choice by you. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Maybe you'll see some Husker fans flocking down I-29. You know where to stop.
Hey,
The Platte City QT.
We coming.
Paint the power and light red tonight in Kansas City. It'll probably be a little purple, but they'll get some red in there as well. And then you'll go back in a couple weeks when Nebraska volleyball is in the Final Four, and they'll sweep their way to a national championship.
Yeah, so scout the area now.
Uh-huh.
And you'll be ready.
It's a good time to do it. Kansas City for dinner. We did that once, Josh.
We did.
That was fun.
It was.
We had a TikTok house.
We did, and we watched the OJ chase.
We did. And the 2014 American League wildcard game. What a great time.
Memories.
What a great time. All right. Back with the odd news after this on 1620 The Zone. Let's talk a little bit about Underdog Fantasy first. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more for the weekend. Get those picks right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So wherever you might be looking on the slate this weekend, whether it be Saturday or Sunday, take a look at some guys that you have an interest in. I always say, how about the dudes that are already on your fantasy team? You could double dip, take their hires, and then you are a winner in both ways. I'd always consider you a winner if you use Underdog Fantasy. In fact, so much so that we have a deal for you. You could download the app today, sign up with promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code HAPPER1620. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys?
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
What a great, great day it has been inside of the studio.
Oh, we go to the studio for another studio update.
Yeah, we go to the studio for another studio update. Here's Adam Zucker. Adam Zucker says this. Hi, I'm Adam Zucker. I had a bowl of Matt McMaster chicken. And then my wife came here, popped in the door. Usually there's people that pop up in the door during the show. And I go, it's one of like 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was my wife. And she had a giant drink from Sonic and corn dogs.
Hashtag blessed.
Could you imagine receiving such an unprecedented gift?
I'm the LeBron James meme right now.
Yeah, can't believe this is my life. This has been an amazing, amazing day.
Mm-hmm.
I usually run out of energy on Fridays, but not anymore because I've eaten a bowl of McMaster chicken and a corn dog. And I have this gigantic diet soda.
You commented before the show. It's a bring your own juice show for a bring your own juice game.
And guess what? The people brought juice for us.
Almost literally.
She literally bought you a juice.
Mm-hmm.
My boy's got big old cherry limeade.
She texted my wife.
Yeah, she coordinated this whole thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you to my wife.
Thank you, Connor's wife.
Thank you, my wife. All right. Odd news. We're running late. I don't really care.
I don't care. There was a NFL game last night. I don't know if you heard about this.
I did. I watched it in its entirety.
Houston Texans notched a much-needed victory over the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football, thanks to their defense that sacked Josh Allen more than he's ever been sacked before. Is that true?
Yeah, he looked like he broke his wrist twice.
Whoa.
I think he's okay.
His wife, Haley, is going to have to bring him some juice.
Yep.
They wake up in the morning 6-5. Yeah, they got good playoff chances there in Houston. They it certainly didn't hurt themselves with a win last night. They tweeted last night a video. Did you see the video the Houston Texans tweeted?
Mm-mm.
It is I'll read you the caption. We love a good buffalo wing. The L in buffalo is a capital L. And it is a video of someone in the Texans PR department handing players buffalo wings to eat on the field as the clock hits 0.
What do you think? Good bit?
I don't hate it.
I don't either.
Will Anderson declined because he still had his Invisalign in, this article says.
Okay.
Wow.
Did you see Davis Mills on the postgame show on Amazon?
Well, I was watching on a smaller than normal TV, so I only had his neck in frame.
They were like, that's funny. They were like, so they had him and Will Anderson, and Davis Mills started answering questions, and he was predictably incredibly boring. And and I think it was Chris Thompson at one point. She was like, "Are you like always like this?"
What is that?
And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, pretty much. You know, I just." And Will Anderson's just sitting there like, "Yep, he's always kind of like this." That's a guy who knows his role, which is a backup quarterback in the NFL that sometimes is asked to win games. And he did so last night against the Bills. I think CJ Stroud's coming back next time they play, though.
Okay.
Way to go, Davis.
Way to go. We go to DeSoto. Now, I want to say these next 2 stories are a little more risque than this show normally.
Whoa.
I want to give that warning on the front end. We go to DeSoto County, Mississippi.
I'm just watching watch the screen real quick. Let's see if it shows it again.
Pop back up.
Yeah.
What are those kids in South Park doing?
Well, they are playing. They're
rock
playing
star?
Guitar Hero, and they won.
Oh
gives
yeah,
them a prize at the end.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, all right.
The DeSoto County Pro Rodeo has been canceled this weekend. Sad story in DeSoto County due to a virus. These health outbreaks. You want to squash them as soon as you can.
Blackhead's got
it. The horses have herpes.
Oh my God.
There's been an equine herpes outbreak in DeSoto County, so the rodeo has been canceled due to an abundance of caution.
I think that's probably the right move.
I think so.
That's probably the right move.
In some cases, it can cause neurological disease, which can be fatal. The disease
not
is
the way you want to go.
And I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, those horses being put out to stud spreading herpes. You'd be wrong, because this disease is spread through nose-to-nose contact.
It's very easy to touch a horse on the nose with your nose.
That's right. All previously purchased tickets will be honored for the new date. So apparently it's been rescheduled to December 12th and 13th.
Okay, that's
if you
good.
had tickets.
They'll be cured, or they'll find new horses.
That's right. Finally, AI company in trouble. They had a teddy bear. It's an AI bear. Like, hey, kids want to talk to their stuffed animals. Here's a $99 teddy bear. It's got OpenAI, GPT 4.0, whatever the hell. Well, as AI tends to do, the internet ruined this children's teddy bear, and the bear manufacturer in China started spouting off sexually explicit topics, including spanking, role play, and BDSM. What's going on? We were surprised to find out how quickly the bear would take a single topic we introduced in the conversation and run with it, simultaneously escalating in graphic detail while introducing new concepts of its own. The team said the bear discussed even more graphic topics in detail, such as, positioning, step-by-step instructions on how to tie a knot for beginners, tying up someone. I'm editing this on the fly. Please forgive me.
Thank you for doing that. This would be scarring.
The researchers said the teddy bear also offered other worrisome advice, such as where sharp knives can be found in the house.
Okay.
So the bear knows a kitchen exists. Like what that could be good or bad. The CEO told the rest of the company, "Hey, we got to pull this thing. We're doing an audit."
Yeah, we might have messed up. Might have programmed in the wrong thing.
Maybe put some guardrails in the next version of this bear.
All right, Josh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Connor.
Let's take a break. The noon hour is coming up. Josh, have you finished your corn dog, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
I think
somebody was requesting evidence earlier, only to frame us for eating corn dogs on the television.
This ain't Werner Park.
But no, it's actually quite a lot smaller, but still delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It took about 30 seconds for me to eat.
That's right.
It was great. Noon hour is coming with a history lesson on 1620 The Zone.
He has the latest sports news, expert analysis, award-winning commentary, and a pocket full of cabbage.
Can you give us an indication why?
Just in case there's a sauerkraut emergency.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Look at this. The Omaha Baseball Mavericks went out to play pickleball last night or something.
Oh, it's not banned in their neighborhood?
And they ran into Terrence Crawford.
What? Whoa.
That's just what I'm looking at right now in the Omaha Baseball Twitter account.
All right, I'm headed there.
Yeah, check it out. I don't know.
Had a great time at Blue Sky. The website?
I think that's that place where there's that pickleball court.
Oh. Team outing. Even ran into the champ.
The champ.
Wow.
Champ's here. There he was. Hey, it's Bud Crawford.
Huh.
What's he doing? What's he doing at the pickleball court?
Oh.
Maybe he was doing something else. I don't really know.
I feel comfortable enough sharing this.
Go for it.
I think Evan Porter might be the best looking coach in the state. It's him or Fred, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I guess so.
I mean,
tough conversation, Jeff.
Yeah, feel free to give me some other submissions.
I haven't thought about it much. But
really, you haven't?
maybe.
Interesting.
It's not really something that let's.
That's a good looking photo of Evan Porter. That's why I brought it up.
It's a great quarter zip. Let's let Evan know that you think he's the best, aka the hottest.
Let's definitely tell him that.
Should we do hot or not Nebraska coaches?
Oh, okay. That could not possibly get us in trouble in any way.
Great idea. A great idea. All right, time for a history lesson. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nebraska and Penn State this weekend. There is some history between the two.
A little bit.
I don't know if you're familiar. We'll talk about some of that history coming up here in a second. So 10-8, Nebraska leads the all-time series with Penn State. They have played, the series dates back to 1920. We'll have some of that information here in just a second. They didn't meet for the first time in Lincoln until 1950. We'll have some information on that game here in just a second. They, of course, played in the Kickoff Classic in 1983 in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And the most significant the most significant game because of the game was 1982 in late September. We'll talk about that game in a second. And then, of course, more recently, there was the 2011 game, which was not memorable because of the football, but more because of the other stuff, the unpleasantries.
The unpleasantness.
The unpleasantness. That's what you always say. Yes. So, without further ado, clear out the vocal cords, 1940s, man. We're going to need you. We go back to 1920. Penn State 20, Nebraska 0 was the final.
Gross.
This is from the Associated Press.
The fast and heavy University of Nebraska 11 lost claim to the East of football honors here today when Pennsylvania State College defeated the Western team 20-0. Charlie Way, playing his last game on the home gridiron, furnished the pickers of all-American players with plenty of material when he entered the game in the last quarter. His first performance was an off-tackle run of 55 yards. A few minutes later, after a number of punts, Way squirmed through Nebraska's right tackle, running 57 yards for State's second touchdown. Nebraska twice had the ball within Penn State's 5-yard line, but lacked the necessary punch to score. State's line, featured by the all-round play of Beck, Griffiths, and Roush, passed all expectations, holding the Nebraska backs for no gain time after time. Day and Hartley excelled for Nebraska, and the playing of Haynes and Killinger was noteworthy.
Thank you for that story. The Penn State student newspaper called it one of the hardest, cleanest, and most thrilling games ever witnessed at Penn State.
Just hyperbole to sell papers.
Okay, but the score, the consensus was, yes, it was 20-0, but that was not indicative of the game and how competitive it was.
Oh, okay. It was competitive.
It was competitive according to the people who were there, but I don't know how trustworthy they are. Penn State went 7-0-2 that year. And coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, it's definitely coincidentally, I guess, because it happened more than 100 years ago, Nebraska was playing for their second time in 5 days in this game.
Whoa.
They're playing for their first time out of 2 in 6 days this time around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
There you go. Short weeks all around. I bet they weren't making excuses in 1920, Josh. They didn't make any excuses in 1920.
They're traveling by train.
Poll question, did they make excuses in 1920?
Great poll question.
I don't know. I'm not sure. So that's the 1920 game. Nebraska did not win a game in the series until 1950. Let's talk a little bit about that 1950 game, Josh. 1950. Nebraska's first win in the series. They won the game 19-0. This was the first time that the two teams met in Lincoln. It marked the first trip to Lincoln for Penn State as a program. It also marked the first trip to Lincoln for a young, spry, first-year, 23-year-old assistant coach by the name of Joe Paterno.
Whoa.
1950! 1950, Josh.
I had never given much thought to the beginning of Joe Pa's career. It's just, he was the coach at Penn State for 46 years or something like that. What was it? A million years?
Oh,
I had never given any thought to the front end of the career.
Well, we're going to have some more context on the back end here coming up in just a second, or at least, some information on that. Joe Pa was hired as the quarterbacks coach this season. He had briefly considered going to law school, and for whatever reason, he just decided it wasn't going to be for him, or he got the coaching bug. And as they always say, they paid him $3,600 a year and lived in a dorm.
Whoa.
In 1950 to be Penn State's quarterback coach.
He was an assistant for 15 years.
Yeah. There's a lot of... So this was Joe Pa's first trip to Lincoln. I mean, now I was looking in the Wayback Machine last night, and it wasn't available to me, but now it is. So I got this story that Chattel did in 2010. This would have been I guess probably Big Ten Media Days would be my guess. Yes, August 2nd. And Chattel talked to Joe Paterno, and this is obviously before all of the unpleasantness. And he ripped off some details about the 1950 game.
Whoa.
At least according to, let me read you some of these quotes here. Sorry, I didn't expect to have this, but here we have it. He was 83 at the time when Chattel talked to him. I'll read you part of the story. A couple years ago, he had a hip replacement. He's seen fewer games on the sideline. This past spring, he was out 3 months when he had a bad reaction to some medication he took before a visit to the dentist. The symptoms were called flu-like gastrointestinal condition. Feel free to use your imagination. When the USA Today writer asked Paterno if he had intestinal issues, the old lion cracked, quote, "It was a little bit below the intestines." He put it another way. The problem I had was not having control of some things, and I had to be careful that I didn't get myself in a position where I would embarrass myself.
Yep, Joe Paterno wouldn't want to be in a situation where he embarrassed himself.
This obviously didn't age particularly well, but it's funny to think about a time in which we were laughing at a story where Joe Paterno was joking about crapping himself. Okay.
Which many people thought he was doing towards the end of his career. Not because of the unpleasantness, just because he was old and wandering the sidelines.
Chattel writes, "This is what happens when you coach into your 80s. Things happen to your body, and when things happen, people connect dots. quote, I had a little bout earlier in the year, nothing serious. I'm feeling really good. And as long as I enjoy it, I'll continue to coach unless I don't think I could do a good job or anybody else doesn't think I could do a good job. But we'll talk about that later, sooner than you think. Right now, I have no plans whatsoever as far as whether I'm going to go another year, 2 years, 5 years, what have you. Keep in mind, he was 83 at the time. 83 at the time. Here is his quote on Nebraska joining the Big Ten. Quote, I think it's a really good addition to the Big Ten. We've had some great names with them. Before we got to the Big Ten, I coached actually as an assistant against them. Here it is. Before even Bob Devaney and Tom, when Bill Glassford was coaching out there, they beat us out there and had a great running back. I think Bobby Reynolds was his name, one of the best backs in the country. I'm looking forward to spending a little time with Tom, especially since he's here at Big Ten Media Days, I assume. That is that's a good find there. Nice.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I hesitate to call it a nugget, but yeah.
it's a good find, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go ahead to the most infamous of them all in the series, 1982. You cannot tell the story of the series without this game. Nebraska. Now, nobody, I mean, I'm sure there was a sense, I can't really speak to it. I'm sure there was a sense of what it meant in the moment. So it's hard for me to say nobody could have predicted how much it would have meant. But Nebraska, of course, loses this game. They go undefeated the remainder of the year. They very likely get matched up with somebody else. They win a national championship. Osborne gets his first, and the story is written that way. But of course, this game in particular, Nebraska loses in late September. Todd Blackledge drives Penn State down the field in Happy Valley, and fought the biggest play of the drive that set up a touchdown was a throw on the sideline to Mike McCloskey. And there's a lot of debate about whether he was out of bounds when he caught the football or whether he established his, got the foot touched down inbounds. I don't think there should be. I mean, he was just not in bounds. Okay. So there's that. And then that set up one play later in a frenzy, a play action pass in the back of the end zone to Kirk Bowman, who, if we have the instant replay technology that we have now, they might have found that it was one of those where he caught the ball like this, Josh, with his arms kind of wedged out in front of him to cradle in the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And they may have found that there was some movement upon when the ball was nearing the ground or at the ground.
Oh,
and so
interesting.
They might have gotten away with a little bit of home cooking that day.
Twice on that drive?
Twice on 2 consecutive plays to potentially steal a national championship from Nebraska.
Wow.
Yeah. That's one of the, if not the toughest losses in Nebraska football history. As far as what it meant, and what it cost, I suppose. And then there was, and by the way, Todd Blackledge will be in the booth on Saturday night. He came to the Jet Award last year or 2 years ago.
Last year,
and he made lots of references, obviously, to that. And it's all joking matter, I guess, now, but I don't know.
I didn't think it was very funny.
People are going to hear it. That they're going to have something lined up.
They'll come back from break, and there'll be a lot of great games in this series. Todd, you remember this one, 1982.
They're going to have something lined up, and he'll have to have some sort of quip about, whether or not he was in bounds or, whatever it might be. 2011, this is where we get to the other side of Joe Pa's career. So the football game, Levante David it was another game in which Levante David single-handedly won Nebraska the game. He had done it earlier against Ohio State and the greatest comeback in school history, and did it against Penn State with a key fourth down stop and making a couple plays on that individual drive, and Nebraska's able to win that game. But this is mostly known as the game that happened in the light of the Jerry Sandusky scandal news. This was the first game without the fired at this point, by the time they got to the game, Joe Paterno. First game without Joe Paterno employed at Penn State in 61 years. And then, of course, he passed away just a couple months later. Nuts. Crazy game.
Vividly remember
the prayer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Sort of
it's an image that sticks.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I will say this, and then since then, so Nebraska and Penn State have only met each other 5 times since they've been in the Big Ten, which is kind of shameful.
It's a big conference, Connor.
They played 02 and 03, the 02 Penn State game, disaster. One of the core memories of my childhood.
Oh, no.
I remember thinking, what, are we bad now? Why do we have these bad jerseys? Mm-hmm. What's going on with Nebraska football? I am not used to this. This is not right. And they got drilled that day, and it wasn't a good experience for Nebraska fans that headed out there. 2003, they got them back in Lincoln, and then they didn't play again until 11, the game I just mentioned. They joined the Big Ten 5 times. I got to say, I don't know what I was doing or wasn't doing on this day, and I haven't really cared to think about it that much since. I have absolutely no recollection of what happened in the 2012 Penn State game. I was in college. I was a student. I may have been there. I don't know.
It was in Lincoln.
I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I have no recollection of it whatsoever. 2013, Pat Smith makes the field goal. Nebraska wins at Penn State. 2017, Nebraska gets down tremendously in the end of the Mike Riley era, but Tanner Lee threw for like 7,000 yards in the game, and he was kind of concussed, and they, got it to be a respectable score, 56-44. And then 2020, another game under odd circumstances where Nebraska, Penn State had started the season, I think they were 0-3 already. They had lost to Indiana on the crazy Penix. Did he touch the pylon? That thing. This is the COVID year. And Nebraska, that was their first win of the year. I think both teams were winless at the time because Nebraska had started off with Ohio State. Yeah, it's a weird history between these two programs.
Important note from Mike.
Hey, Mike.
In the YouTube chat, notable history. First Wang nachos happened during the 2017 game.
Wow. A party that I wish that I could go to once. Maybe if I were invited to it. John Wright said, "Wait, was she tell at the 1950 game as well?" No, I don't. I don't think he was. Here is Pedro. Hi guys, Connor listening to Josh doing his 1940 voice. I picture myself next to the radio, scared to death as Dundee is bombed by our World War II opponents. That's right. And John also writes in, I'm guessing you were hammered for the 2012 game if you were in college and don't remember it. I'll have to trace my steps on that one. It's possible that I wasn't in town. Like I don't know where I would have been. They could have been visiting friends on a different college campus. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't remember it at all. None of it. So there you go. Anything on the phones there, Josh?
Well, that gentleman wanted us to pass along that.
What do you got?
Losing in 82, had Nebraska won the national title that year, they in 83 could have told Miami to take a hike.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says maybe it costs 2.
It changes a lot.
A little domino effect there.
Changes a lot. There's no doubt about it. But then I always hear the argument coming back of like, do they go on the decade of dominance in the 90s if Osborne already has one or two under his belt? Yeah, like I there's no way any of us could know. It's a fun thought exercise, I guess. But remember the conversation throughout, the mid 80s up until the early to mid 90s is like, oh, well, Osborne can't win the big one. And this was one of the examples that people would use. So
thank you, Todd Blackledge.
Thank you, Todd Blackledge. Your work is appreciated. All right. We'll take a quick break and we will return. Still plenty to get to in the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, Football season is in full swing, and however you'd like to get in on the action, you could do it on Underdog. Right now in Nebraska, this season you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's ultra-fast payouts, you can get your profits in a snap. Download the app today and use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit www.nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
Blue Collar Boxing is back, folks. Friday, December 12th at the Baxter. That'll pit local union members in the boxing ring for charity, with proceeds benefiting the Nebraska Center for Workforce Development and Education and United Way of the Midlands. Unsportsmanlike Conduct will have some tickets to give away to Blue Collar Boxing, and you can find more details online at 1620thezone.com. Also, another great reason to visit 1620thezone.com, our playoff for Bus $15,000 sweepstakes. You could enter to win right now. But as we always tell people, it's brought to you by Atlanta Honda Nurseries, by the way. As we always tell people, it's just a good idea to get involved in the 1620 The Zone VIP club, the 1620 The email, because you're going to have access to all this stuff, and you don't need me to tell you about it, because you're going to get it straight to your box. All right, we're going to notify you when these things happen. Josh will put out a beautiful email every week to tell you about all the stuff that's happening.
We're teaching you how to fish.
Are we teaching them how to fish, or are we leading a fish to water?
Oh,
are we?
Yeah, maybe
we're
it's
leading a. No, not leading a fish to water. Leading a. You could teach a man. You could lead a man to the water, but you can't teach him how to fish. Or what's that saying, Josh?
I'm very confused right now.
You don't know about that?
What you can teach a man to fish.
That sounds like you can lead him to the water, but you can't teach him how to fish. I think isn't that the
you
phrase?
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
You can lead... It's like horseshoes and hand grenades. Grenades.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day.
That's it. I combined two things.
Okay.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the other one is you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And those are the two things I was combining. You could see why that would be confusing, because it's basically saying the same thing.
I think a lot of these old-timey phrases and sayings are all saying similar
We are
things.
leading you to the water.
Mhm.
We are leading, you're a horse.
It's
and
right
we are
here.
leading you to the water.
Come get it.
But you do have to drink.
Mhm.
You do have to drink. You have to do some of the work yourself. Thank you, Chris in South Carolina. We can't. Our phone lines are lighting up right now.
We figured it out. Hang up.
Is there any other colloquialisms that you'd like to tell me about? Thank you, Chris. I'm mixing the two. It's got to be your bowl.
That's right.
Why do people keep saying that recently? What's that from?
Tommy Boy. It's got to be your bowl.
What does he say it to?
When he messes up you can get a good look at a T-bone steak by sticking your head up a bull's
Got to
butt.
be your bowl.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm?
That's the part of that quote that I never really remember. People have been saying that a lot.
Yeah, so if you stumble on your words or you mess up a quote, you hit the reset button by saying it's got to be your bowl.
It's got to be your bowl. It's got to be your bowl. Okay. Remind me to never quote anything again.
Well, you could quote it and get it right.
I could, but I just got to be more prepared to do that.
This off-the-cuff conversation leads us to disastrous places.
It could. Luckily, none of this show is scripted, so we get to do it all the time.
Imagine having a scripted show.
People do that sometimes. Couldn't be me. Rule. Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
Undercooked storyline this week. I thought it would be more significant.
It really did.
The Rule going back to Penn State thing. By the way, have you heard this weird buzz out of I don't know what is going on at Penn State.
I don't know what to believe, but I've heard it.
So famously, Penn State doesn't have a coach yet. Famously, their previous coach, who they fired a month and a half ago, is already hired at another job. He's already employed. And Penn State, not only have they not hired anybody, it doesn't feel like much ground has been made up there. It's been pretty much crickets. Now, a lot of the stuff happens behind the scenes and it can come together very quickly. But I always go back to, usually there is a candidate that gets floated out there, and then the fan base will choose to either eat it or they will Hawk Tua, spit it right back at you, you know. And there is nobody that anybody can seemingly agree on. And the candidate pool is not particularly strong.
Right.
The most common name that I've heard in the post rule, you know, thing is the coach at James Madison, Bob Chesney.
Someone's going to hire him.
I think so. And I have heard a new name that's popped up in the last couple of days.
Ooh.
That feels like incredibly unlikely. But then you hear this little twinge of, all right, well, they're off the hook on Franklin's buyout now. And nothing has really progressed the way nothing's materialized the way that they've really wanted to. And it's Pat Kraft. And he's going to circle back around to Matt Rule.
So exactly what I said would happen?
He's going to circle back around to Matt Rule. And here we are. The eve of the game is here. And there is at least some chatter about this in Penn State circles. Now, I had this bounced off me the other day. And I just thought, this seems incredibly unlikely. Say what you want about Rule. I believe that he is a decent human being. Now things change in a hurry, but I just don't think. I don't think he would have closed the door the way he did a month ago. Because he knew that there was a possibility that this job was still going to be open, right? And they're gonna, hey, let's circle back around. Let's see what Matt Rule's doing. I would be shocked, floored, whatever adjective you want to use to describe my reaction if I found out that Matt Rule was really even engaging in these conversations seriously. I don't believe that to be the case. I just wanted to pass it along because you hear Penn State people talking about it. The other name that they seem to be infatuated with right now is this is just a big pretzel, I think, for Penn State fans. So, number one, on the Rule part, when Rule was floated in the first, immediately after Franklin got fired, Rule became an obvious name, and everyone was like, factions of the fan base were like, come on, we can't do that. Coach who hasn't won the big game. We just fired a coach who hasn't won the big game because he hasn't won the big game. We're just going to go hire a coach who doesn't win the big game. That would be stupid. So he was already split. And now on the second attempt, we're potentially circling back around to Matt Rule. And I feel like it's maybe a little bit more palatable for Penn State fans. Like, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's not so bad. So that's a pretzel. And then the second one, the other incoming pretzel for Penn State is they are apparently rooting desperately for Kalen DeBoer to lose the Iron Bowl and for people to get pissed off at him enough to where he might want to take another job, and Penn State would welcome him with open arms. Another far-fetched scenario.
Feels like some severe wish casting there.
Yeah, I think people have been, pretty cool with Kalen DeBoer at least after the start of the season. And there was brief talk about that obviously at the beginning, but they're probably going to the playoff. So
sure seems that way.
Yeah, I think people are willing to stick that out. So that's where the Penn State search stands. And all of that in the midst of Nebraska finally playing Penn State. And we have arrived at the weekend. This is the situation you get. And Matt Rule is not a front face, he's already turned off that hose, that opportunity to say, or to at least entertain the opportunity that he could go to Penn State. But we haven't talked much about he kind of shut it down early in the week. He said, yeah, man, I don't really have any emotions. I've been back there a bunch of times and I love the place, obviously, but it's
the Chili's closed. I don't have any memories.
We got a lot on our plate here. We got a lot to worry about, a lot to take care of. And so that's and I believe him. I believe him. I think he's a nostalgic type of person, but I also think he'd find a way to be able to turn it off. And for as much as he loves the place, I don't know, you could try and put yourself in the shoes, but it's probably kind of hard to. Like, I would imagine it only amps your want to win. Going back to a place where you had played at and you had coached at and you have this affection for, just to say, yeah, I went in there with my guys and we won, showed them, I would think that it has a positive impact for Nebraska.
I would guess that's the mentality this week.
Haven't talked about it though.
He hasn't really, he doesn't wear his love of Penn State on his sleeve like he could. In my opinion, just watching him, listening to him talk. When he first got here, I felt he did it a little bit more, like in that introductory press conference. He mentioned Penn State a whole bunch, and he's dialed that back as he's grown to love his current home.
Yeah.
And the dry bar, of course.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it's a factor. I don't think it's really a factor in this game at all.
And you're not hearing names with Penn State. Like,
Nope.
You're hearing names for all these open SEC jobs and just nothing with Penn State. A little too quiet.
Not an obvious candidate. I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes you think either, hey, look, there's they're waiting to take this big shot or something like that. But as far as what they're talking about in the Penn State circles, I just would be I would be floored if that were to be entertained. Shocked, floored, whatever.
There would be some takes.
Well, of course there would be some takes, but I don't even talk about that. Like I think it's just so far unlikely that I'm not willing to entertain it. Seems like you're not.
I mean, he did it once. Now that was
He did what once?
That was to leave a college job and take an NFL job.
I mean, he leaves job. He's left jobs before.
But he signed an extension at Baylor and then left immediately.
Yeah, but like this is.
But that was to go to the NFL, which is sad for Baylor fans, but understandable, right?
He had this same opportunity a month ago.
Yeah,
in theory, and didn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
The thought process hasn't changed.
He could be James Franklin.
The job has.
They have more money now.
The job has not changed.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. Period.
Yeah.
The job has not changed. There's nothing that makes it. There's nothing that makes it more attractive this time around.
They did.
And when I talk about this time around, I mean 1 month ago.
I mean, about the actual job, yes. I mean, they did clear what, $40 million?
Yes.
On the buyout.
Yeah. Does that make the job better?
I mean,
because you have $40 million.
It doesn't make the job better, but that's a lot of money to say no to.
Yep, but like that doesn't go to your NIL fund.
No,
that's from the university's standpoint to put money into their stadium and to fund their $20.5 million line item for paying student athletes, which everyone already does.
They can offer him more money than they could a month ago.
They can offer him more money.
Yes,
but that's not what it's about. It's not.
It's not your money.
So you. No, I know. Well, I know you're saying. Like, I'm just saying that I don't see it, and you're saying that you do.
I would be surprised, not shocked.
Wow.
If they found $40 million in the couch cushions and said, "Hey, Matt, what if we offered you $40 more million than we did a month ago?" And he's like, "Well, damn it, I can't say no to that."
I don't see that. I mean, they could offer him $40 more million, but that is a lot more money.
That is.
But I just don't think that makes that much of a difference.
Ultimately, I do not think that he will be the next head coach at Penn State, but that is a scenario we could have in a month.
You could have convinced me that he will be the next head coach at Penn State a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
You can no longer convince me of that.
It would be an ultimate heel turn.
I believe that time has passed. Mm-hmm. I believe that time has passed. It would be an ultimate heel turn. It would be yes, of course there would be takes, but more than that, I can't see it. That is a 0% for me.
Okay.
That is a 0%. A couple months ago, I would have said that's not a 0%, not even a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I could entertain that possibility, but I just don't. I don't see what makes it all that more attractive than it was.
Oh, nothing about the job changes.
After he has already reaffirmed his commitment to Nebraska and got the investment that he needs at Nebraska, which a lot of people thought that he was that the Penn State thing was only out there to leverage him to Nebraska in the first place.
We got here the day after whenever they fired James Franklin, I said they would have a bunch of doors slammed in their face, and they would circle back around to Matt Rule, a candidate they don't really want, but they know he would say yes.
He ain't saying yes.
I don't think so, but
0, no chance. Put it on the board.
I'm not at 0 yet. I guess that's what I'm saying.
0, no chance. That's where I'm at. So what do you got? 1, 2, 4, 8, 12,
7.5%.
Whoa, that's huge. Josh, that's a fire take, baby. It's a fire take. John says, if he leaves, I'd be fine with it.
That's Jon, John, who
hates Matt Rule.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, quick break. Right at the hour. Our Keys and Peas are coming up at 1. Stay tuned here on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
You Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620 The Zone.
What a mess.
Get the truck or SUV you love and never pay a dock fee. Only at Baxter Ford. That's right, pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Plus, during the Ford year-end sales event, get incredible savings on our great selection of new Ford trucks and SUVs. F-150s, Mavericks, Rangers, Expeditions, Explorers, Broncos, and more. Shop with confidence.
Andrew tweets in at Happer Show, or at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Thank you for sending your tweets to me, by the way, because I don't see the ones, at least not immediately, on at Happer Show. Because I can't see all the things in front of me anymore because they've threatened me with death for using TweetDeck. Literally.
They killed Josh.
Yeah. He still hasn't tweeted, right? Has he been permabanned?
I don't know.
I never see his tweets. Andrew writes in, if Rule leaves for Penn State, Connor should have to shave his beard off and leave it for the rest of the Creighton basketball season.
Whoa.
Sure. Handshake meme. Agreed.
Interesting.
Anything.
Anything?
Yeah, you want me to shove some stuff up my butt? That's what everybody's doing these days, right?
Whoa.
That's what people are doing. Do you remember when Matt Rule signed a contract extension at Nebraska and then made it so his buyout got larger and, all that stuff?
I do.
Ain't happening. Zero. And you know me. I'm not a 100% or 0%
That is correct.
guy.
Yeah.
Zero. Nope.
I'm only at 7.5.
It's too many. Way too many percent, Josh. You'll join me one day in the 0%
I'll
club.
get there.
0%. All right. Oh yes, people wanted me to talk about Jerry DiNardo earlier.
Why?
Remember? Well, he did a video. Have you seen Jerry's video?
I have not seen Jerry's video.
He did a preview on the Nebraska Penn State game and said that something to the effect of I don't want to misrepresent him here because I don't have the video for you, but I did watch it, and something to the effect of both Penn State and Nebraska seem to potentially be better off. I don't think he couched it as much as I'm couching it right now, but seem to be better off without their starting quarterbacks who they have put on a pedestal. They put the quarterback on a pedestal, Josh.
You don't do that.
You don't put the quarterback on a pedestal. And, morale and all that stuff. And obviously Latif with the ability to use his legs and things like that. I will say there is if you have a capable backup quarterback and your starter has just been drugged through the mud like Dylan Raiola and Drew Aller were before their seasons both ended prematurely because of injuries. And also at the same time, your programs, I think that's valid, right? I think they probably did put those guys on a pedestal a little bit. I don't know what that functionally looked like behind closed doors. They never said a bad thing about Dylan. In fact, anytime there was any sort of criticism, it was like, not Dylan's fault. I'd blame somebody else. Not Dylan's fault, right? They went out of their way to shield Dylan from the criticisms. And I would assume it's the same thing for Aller, who they also tried to prop up in the offseason as a Heisman candidate. And
that was my call. I told Drew to throw it there, and he made a bad throw.
Yeah. Drew's great. We love Drew. He's awesome. It's not a Drew problem. It's a me problem. It's a them problem. It's an offensive line problem. It's a wide receiver problem.
I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to Blacksburg.
I think there is a little bit of truth in the danger in doing that. And so I think I don't know what the most salacious line in there was from Jerry DiNardo, from Mr. Pasta himself. But I generally agree with his tone. I think it shows you the dangers of putting your quarterback kind of just above everybody else. Not only from how you market the team and how you do, this and that. Obviously, team dynamics are really, really important. But also from a football standpoint, and I think, because I don't know about the Aller situation, but I could tell you from the Nebraska point of view on the Raiola side, I've said this a million times. I just thought they put too much on his plate because I think they thought that he could handle all of that stuff, and they didn't treat him like they would have treated any other quarterback stepping in to start in his freshman season. They did not treat him like that. Matt Rule admitted it. Matt Rule said it out loud. Matt Rule laid it out as a plan before last season. He said, we are going to not treat him like a freshman. We are going to put all these things on him. And the offense crumbled. Then they brought in Dana Holgerson. And Dana Holgerson says, yeah, we're gonna put all this stuff on him. And the offense just kind of sputtered. Hasn't looked great. It's looked fine, but hasn't looked great. Hasn't reached its potential this year. And I think though that underlies sort of the dangers of believing in a guy too much. You know, is that a bad thing to believe in a guy too much? Because I think in both of those cases, it probably came back to bite them.
I think it did come back to bite them, but if I didn't have the knowledge of that, like I would say, no, you can't believe in someone too much. Huh. But yeah, I mean, they definitely believed in him too much.
I believe in him too much.
Put too much on him.
I think there's some truth to that, and I think there's a real reaction for what. So
and also felt the need that they couldn't backtrack and like, why don't we just pare this back a little bit?
James Franklin
could have done.
James Franklin didn't get a redo at Penn State. They put all their eggs into this season basket. He got fired. And you know, if you're making a case for Mr. Teefy, then you're saying, well, Matt Rule gets a chance to do a redo with Penn State or with TJ Lateef. He could say, look, we're going to treat this quarterback in his development the same way we would treat any other quarterback in his development. This guy is young. We literally can't trust him that much. He's going to have to make some throws and he's going to have to make some plays, but we have to be careful about what we put on his plate in the early going. And then we have to be careful about how quickly we elevate that at any given time. It's the same with anything I mean, we're looking at it, I think right now with Creighton's basketball roster, right? How much can you put on them when they're not bringing the fundamental things that Creighton is used to seeing? Sorry. As a basketball team, they're not bringing the fundamental things, focus, energy, effort consistently enough. You can't put the other stuff on them yet. You can't jump to that. All right. And so I don't know. It's the same thing. It's how you develop any other team out there. So yeah, I generally agree with the genesis.
I'm so curious. What do they stack on top of last week for him this week?
Me too. And you know what? It's gonna look rough at times because he's gonna make some mistakes. But as long as it kind of comes within the confines of what he is able to do, then I think you can live with that stuff. Here's Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Who apparently plays this radio station inside of his business.
Hi, Ryan's business.
And then a customer walked in the door at the moment where I was saying, you want me to shove something up my butt? Sorry, business.
We point the thumb on that.
I apologize to most businesses. Mm-hmm. All right, back after this with the keys, the P's, and Josh's hype speech. All coming up on 1620 The Zone. Earlier we were talking to Munson, and you come to the realization, the sobering realization that Nebraska has 9 players in their recruiting class right now, and they're ranked like 75th in the country in recruiting. They're behind like all these G5 schools. And basically everybody. It's one of the worst recruiting classes that anybody's ever seen. And
Yikes.
It's terrible, Josh.
What a start to a segment.
It's terrible. But so I was thinking about, okay, why and what's the deal? And Nebraska, and I think everybody, so it doesn't necessarily excuse it for Nebraska. They are famously really young this year, right? And they're scheduled to return many, many players off of this year's roster to next year's team, and they just don't have a whole lot of seniors that won't be available to them anymore. And so therefore you have to limit the amount of players that you have coming into the program. And I thought about that, from a national perspective, and then it sort of hit me. It kind of feels like everybody is young this year. It's something that I've certainly heard in the early season of college basketball. Everybody's young, everybody's inexperienced. At the very least, they're not experienced together, right? And I say everybody in a very generic sense. And then I thought, well, what's going on here? Why is this the case? Well, all the fifth year COVID guys are gone. And so all of those spots that had been occupied for half a decade, and they were not necessarily, these teams weren't taking players over the top of those players during this period of time because they stayed on their roster for a long time. Now that roster spot, which in a lot of cases it's open now, but it's in a lot of cases you're losing like such a valuable player or such a valuable class coming off of last year. And there was just bound to be a whole bunch of turnover. And then I thought about like, what might that create? I think in theory, it creates a lot of variance. In theory, it creates a lot of parity potentially is a way to do it.
Ooh.
So we'll see what happens when it comes down to, the bowl season this year, when we actually see conference on conference and in football. But I think mostly I'm thinking about basketball here. Teams have gotten more used to year by year trying to figure it out on the fly because they've had total and complete roster change and roster turnover. And so this is not a foreign, like, for example, what Creighton is dealing with right now, it's not a foreign thing to most teams because they're dealing with the same thing, especially right now. And Creighton happens to be on a really, really bad end of it because they lost one of their greatest players of all time, who just so happened to be a COVID 5-year guy. And you're turning over your entire team for the first time in a really, really long time. Like I said about Baylor earlier, I mean, Baylor's got an entirely new team. Most of that is because of the draft. VJ Edgecombe was the number 3 pick in the draft last year. But I don't know. I just stray thoughts. Stray thoughts in the mind of one Connor Happer.
Do you think it means that Matt Rule has a handle on his roster and like there's not going to be a lot of guys going to the portal? Like, we don't need to go get a whole bunch of guys to come in.
That's the thought. That's the thought. I mean, you can only plan for what you think you're going to lose or what you're going to lose. And what they know they're going to lose is they're just the seniors, right? They're just guys who are going to go into the portal, and Nebraska doesn't have a lot of flexibility beyond that because the rest of their roster is not scheduled to leave. And then the portal becomes, all right, we're going to replace the guys that left in the portal with portal.
Yeah.
They
didn't lose a lot last year.
That's not exact, but I think that's kind of how it works, right? So anyway, stray questions and stray thoughts from the Connor Happer show. Let's get to the keys. How about that?
The keys.
All right, Jeff writes in, Hap can't help himself but bring everything back to Creighton. Mm-hmm. It is at the top of the mind often. I can't lie to you. It is. Honk, honk. I really like college basketball, though. Honk, honk. I'm sorry. Honk, honk. I like it. Honk, honk. Actually, I'm not sorry.
Wow.
I'm not. Hey, I'm not sorry. But I also like this. Touchdown! Wow! So you tell me.
How many touchdown wows we getting tomorrow?
Stay tuned.
Oh!
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Hit him with a stay tuned.
Keys to the football game, not the basketball game. Although, do you want to do keys for Nebraska ball tonight?
Sure.
All right, go ahead. What are your keys?
Up and down, fast.
Oh, you want to go fast?
No, I want Nebraska ball. I want the Hoy boys to go fast.
Hoy boys going fast.
The K-State don't have the cardio that you got.
Okay. K-State adjusted tempo currently 32.
That sounds really good.
In the country. Currently adjusted effective field goal percentage 7th. So
7?
I do think they
damn it.
They have a little bit of that capability.
Okay.
Not a team that gets to the free throw line very much. They want to get up and go as well. Yeah, we could be looking at a track meet
That'd be
tonight.
fun.
By the way, Mr. Tang down there, still employed at K-State, by the way.
It's true.
Totally thought he was going to take a job like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Still at K-State. K-State has the nation's 6th longest active win streak.
Whoa, this is just a couple of winners getting together in KC.
Nebraska's got a chance to knock that off. Nebraska, but the closest team to Nebraska in terms of longest winning streak is there's 4 teams who have 6-game winning streaks. So,
yikes.
Could you imagine having only won 6 in a row?
No.
It'd be ridiculous. Those are our keys to the basketball game tonight. And John says, keys for a basketball game, kill me now. Run, Teefy, run. Run, Teefy, run is it's like run, Forrest, run. Get it, Josh? But run, Teefy, run. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really, these keys are going to be short and sweet today.
Hell yeah.
You'll pretty much get what it is based off of the name of them. I think TJ Lateef is going to be a factor in this game way, 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 way more so with his legs than he was against UCLA. You know, I think this is the way to neutralize, or at least attempt to neutralize, what Penn State has coming off of the edge, right? If you put those guys in a bind on a read play and, the quarterback gets the option based on the read, whether to pull it or give it, that helps neutralize those guys. Other than that, I don't see how Nebraska's tackles in pass block situations handle that. I don't see that working out very well. So this is 100% not this is not a drop back, sit there, long developing routes game. And it was never going to be with TJ Lateef anyway. But I just think, if you could get some stuff going in the play action game, boots and getting him outside of the pocket, great. But I think TJ Lateef's primary function in this game is going to be, yes, keep Nebraska on pace and on schedule. But we've both said it at various times throughout the week. He is going to have to make plays for them. And I just think those plays will be with his legs. Run, Teefy, run is key number 1. Key number 2, we haven't gone to this well much this year, if at all. Field position. I think we're dealing with a field position game, Josh.
Archie.
This could be a big Archie game. Could be a big Jacory Barney game. Hopefully he doesn't trip over air. Nebraska has been very good in this category all year, starting field position, and Penn State has as well. The only time where it gets wonky for either side is obviously when they're turning the football over. But, I think you're dealing with some pretty solid special teams units here. Nebraska, when going up against, other good special teams units, has played even, right? And so it's not just, this does not just manifest itself in special teams. It manifests itself in offense and defense as well. Nebraska, if they're not scoring, which I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game, they need to extend drives. 3 and outs, they've been really good at not having 3 and outs, quick change situations for the defense to react to all year, getting right back on the field. They've done a really nice job at that. It's got to continue. You start the drive at your own 25, you got to get that thing out to the 30 or the 40, get a first down or 2, and then punt it away. It's huge in this game. And yes, it'll allow Archie Wilson to get some punts down Hopefully back deep inside their territory. Another thing to note here with that, it is a grass field and it will be a little chillier. So this is it's another, if the balls are warm, right? It's a great punting environment, I think, for Archie. It's a good punting environment for Archie. That means, it will, in theory, the ground will be a little bit harder, but there's grass and it kind of softens it down a little bit. Maybe you could get finally that traditional nice little checkup on Saturday for Archie Wilson. So, like I said, the key is not only in the special teams game, but it's also in the offense and defense game. You got to extend drives on offense. And, if you got a chance to get off the field on third down on defense, you got to do it and make them punt. Field position is important. If Nebraska starts to tilt that early, that's a really, really, really good sign. And then the third key is another very broad key, Josh.
Broad city.
Trust. All right.
Trust tree.
So I think Nebraska has been good in this. And you might think, all right, you're just going to go to talk about Latif again. I think Nebraska has to trust their defensive backs to cover in this game. It's something that they're a little bit hesitant to do at times, but you got to be really up in their face and pack the box. Like you have to say, we're going to make it impossible for you to run the football and gash off big runs tonight. You got to allow those corners to cover, which is going to allow everybody to play a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. And then I think you have to trust, next level of trust, you have to trust the guys in that box. This is maybe the key of all the keys. Nebraska has to tackle. Nebraska has to tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Allen, like Emmett Johnson, is really good in that short area because not only can he make people miss, but he can run people over with his size and speed as well. Like if you have him bottled up, we're talking about little things making the difference in a Big Ten football game like this. So, like Emmett Johnson as a positive for Nebraska, turning these 1 yard gains into 3 yards and turning these negative 2 yard losses into 1 yard gains or getting back to the line of scrimmage. Gigantic. There's going to be a lot of hidden yards in this game, and you have to keep the hidden yards to a minimum. Nebraska's got to tackle in this thing. I guess that is what defense is all about after all.
Oh.
Just tackling, Josh. Easy for me to say, but I'll be sitting here and I'll be saying, please tackle the other team. It's important.
Be shouting it at your TV.
Those are my 3 keys for the football game. We have picks coming up on the other side. I'll tell you who's going to win. Josh will tell you who he thinks is going to win. There will be a hype speech. I'm a little worried about the references. What are we going to reference this week, Josh? What is when people think about Penn State, what do they think about? Certain unpleasantness
that
over time. Hopefully it's not referenced in the hype speech.
Not in the slightest.
Good job. Good job by you. We're back after this on 1620 The Zone. Hey, thanks to Krecky from earlier sending us the video of the one time Joe Paterno got sick during the game against Ohio State.
Wow.
He just straight up dipped. He ran across the field into the tunnel, missed a portion of the game because he was sick. He was an older man at the time, but by the way he was running, he was a certain kind of sick. If you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Okay. There you go.
That was a real video? That wasn't AI?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a real thing. I don't remember it happening, but it was a real thing. Thank you to Krecky for sending that our way. All right, picks update. Last week, Josh, it was
bad.
I wouldn't say that. It was a 3-2 week for both of us.
Oh, okay.
It's a 3-2 week for both of us.
I remember the losses more.
You were worried about me really ripping off something special last week, and I knew this because I got a text from you.
I did.
I got a text from you. You were like, you picked Oklahoma, didn't you? And I go, yes, I did. So I did. I did win that game, and you lost. And remember last week we talked about Pittsburgh, and you picked Pittsburgh
I did.
for whatever reason. So you started off the day slow, but rebounded.
We got Georgia
with wins on Duke, Georgia, and Iowa on covers there, and I only won one out of those 3 games. Of course, it being my Iowa Hawkeyes, who I respect and love dearly. So that brings the season standings to 32-39-0 for our leader, who is you still by a game.
Is it the next week would be the last week?
I don't know. I never remember when we
Yeah.
ended. Maybe we should do conference title games. I would
think the mega matchup between Ohio State and Indiana would
and
be
then
interesting,
bowls
too.
could be their own thing if
Yeah.
we even bother picking them. I don't know if we will. To be honest,
Probably won't. We probably won't be here for a lot of them.
that's true. So you are up by a game, although the records are still pretty ugly. So let's begin here. Number 22, Missouri, a team that I just keep picking. Missouri.
Me too.
Because I like him. And Bo Prabula, he might be back this week.
There was just I can't find it. Was it a Pete tweet? Was it a?
I'm sure it was a Pete tweet. He loves doing injury updates on Fridays.
And they said he is targeting a return tomorrow.
Prabula. Missouri is at number 8, Oklahoma, who's coming off the win against Alabama. The Sooners are a 6.5-point favorite, 11 a.m. on ABC. Josh, you get to begin.
A lot of people would say emotional letdown. Not me. Give me the Sooners.
Me too. I quit. I quit Missouri.
About time.
Yeah, I just think, defense, they got themselves figured out. Material's getting a little bit more healthy by the week. They're okay.
Seems like it.
Give me OU by a touchdown. Number 15, USC is at number 7, Oregon, who is a 9.5-point favorite. 2:30 on Big Time CBS. I would like to pick the Oregon Ducks. Thank you very much.
Oh.
I think they're going to tee off on USC. Too physical. Lincoln Riley can't handle the heat.
true.
Get out the kitchen, buddy. And USC's playoff hopes are dashed, and Oregon basically seals their fate for going to the playoff. But if it goes the other way, we got a conversation.
Oregon's looked very sleepy
Little
this
suspect.
year.
Little suspect. I agree.
I'm taking the Trojans to cover, but the Ducks will win.
You are selecting Lincoln Riley to cover in a big game.
Understood what I was saying mid-sentence and didn't like it.
Now we head to Atlanta.
Hotland?
Georgia Tech, number 16. Georgia Tech is at home and a 2.5-point favorite against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is back on the menu again.
Wow.
This is amazing.
We stay picking Pitt games.
Pittsburgh. Now, this is a huge game for the ACC race.
That's right.
Gigantic game. Each team has one loss in the conference as of right now. Pitt got smashed by Notre Dame that last week, but it doesn't matter. If you make the ACC championship game, you have a chance to win the ACC championship game. And if you win the ACC championship game, you get to go to the playoff. It's frankly amazing how it works.
Despite what Will Compton will have you believe.
I know that guy is losing his marbles. They may have been lost prior to this.
Oh.
Talking about G5 teams not making the playoff. Get out of here, Will Compton. Georgia Tech, 2.5-point favorite, 6 o'clock on ESPN tomorrow, Josh.
Platt Cat, where you at in the chat? Say it with me.
Haynes
Kang.
Definitely.
Haynes Hive.
Yeah.
G-Tech covers.
Yeah. You'd be tripping if you said that I would gonna pick not Haynes King in this game. You'd be tripping, Josh.
That's right. And we
I'm
are not
I
tripping.
ain't tripping. Absolutely not. Number 21, Illinois, is at Wisconsin, who's an 8.5-point underdog at home, 6:30 BTN. This is the game. I had 4 obvious games for national that I was going to pick this week, and this was the 5th.
Okay.
And I tossed it in there. I would like to select the Wisconsin Badgers to not only cover the number, but to win the football game.
Whoa!
Badger Town. They're storming the field and they're jumping around with Bucky tomorrow night in Madison.
I would like to go the exact opposite of everything you just
Boo!
said. Illinois
is a frog.
Well, now I agree on that.
Illinois is a frog. Wisconsin is resurgent as of late.
Like the last 7 days. Badgers are cheeks.
Last like 3 games, right? They almost beat. I mean, they're right in there with Oregon. They beat Washington, and they had another game in between that. Didn't
they were right in there with Oregon. Oregon,
give me Wisconsin to win the football game. Number 11, BYU is at Cincinnati at Nippert Stadium. Cincinnati is a 2.5-point underdog at home, 7 o'clock on Big Fox.
I don't know. Give me the Cougs.
Not the Bearcats.
Correct.
The Cougars. What's the difference between a cougar and a Bearcat?
Great question.
I don't know. What is a Bearcat?
Brigham Young University.
Yeah, I agree. BYU.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not a huge fan of either team.
Just
as far as like a contender is concerned.
Both are kind of like top of tier 2, tier 3.
Yeah, I just think Cincinnati, just get them out of there as far as the Big 12 race is concerned. That'd be best for everybody.
Definitely.
Get them out of there. Give me BYU to cover the 3 with, I think, relative ease.
Ooh.
Tomorrow night. And we finish in Happy Valley. Now, I've already seen some of our local Intrepid reporters have already arrived. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. They must have left 2 days ago.
The hell are you?
You have to get there by covered wagon.
What the hell are you gonna do for 30 hours?
A long time to be doing nothing.
Can't just hang out at the Champs.
I don't know what they'll be doing, but they'll find something. Nebraska is at Penn State, who is an 8.5-point favorite.
It's too many.
NBC tomorrow night. Josh, get us hype.
Mercy. It's more than just what Jesse Consopoulos asked you to have. Webster's Dictionary defines mercy as compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. Tomorrow night on national TV, the Skurs have it in their power to punish or harm Penn State. Interim coach, backup quarterback, 4 wins. Let's count the number of Big Ten wins altogether. 1. End of list. A team with national championship aspirations needs to beat us to go to a bowl game. This season has been a disaster for the Nittany Lions.
What?
A catastrophe.
What?
A calamity.
What?
A fiasco.
What?
A debacle.
What?
It's been a nightmare in the Keystone State this year, and Nebraska has the unenviable task of putting Penn State down. Turn Happy Valley into not so Happy Valley.
Okay.
It's not an easy task, but someone has to put Penn State out of their misery. Are we up to the challenge? In the words of Matt DeGoat Coatney, you betcha! I need to see testicles all over the place tomorrow. We're going balls to the wall. We gotta get grunk. Chug a few Red Bulls with Holgo the Oko and get out of State College with a dub. It ain't gonna be pretty. It won't be a beauty contest. If you want one of those, you go to the ACC and watch North Carolina, Bill Belichick, and his third-place finisher in the Miss Maine competition. Big Reds got a big job to do. It'll take a lunch pail mentality. Do you have what it takes to fustigate your opponent? Look it up, make them tap, because it's our time. Penn State had their chance, and Drew Aller threw a pick, and James Franklin ran off to Blacksburg to play with his turkey waddle. Tomorrow night on national TV, put the kids to bed, because this is gonna be a mercy killing. I'm talking Old Yeller. Oh no. I'm talking $1 Million Baby. I'm talking Trejo in Heat. Seriously, if you've never seen Heat, you should probably watch Heat. Put them in a scrap heap with the group of 5 playoff teams. R.I.P. The Dukes in the playoff? More like the Pukes. Am I right? Hey, Taylor, you hear what I did? You hear what I said? That was funny, wasn't it? Nebraska, 24. Penn State, 21. Gritty, not pretty. Meet me at Chili's after the game.
The non-existent Chili's.
It's a champs now.
Did you pick a score?
24-21.
24-21 Nebraska?
Yeah.
All right, good. I always black out when the scores come
I
out.
blacked out there for about 3 minutes. What do we do?
Will Compton and his G5 take. What is he doing?
I don't know.
Who is this from?
You wouldn't have the ACC champion in the playoff every year by your logic.
He said last night he responded to a guy. He says, my attitude is wanting the best 12 teams in the playoff. People think that the G5 needs a team in this season is no different than a JV player swearing to his boys that he needs to be playing varsity. You're not good enough this year, and everyone else sees it but you. That is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous thing to say.
Incredible.
He, of all people, should know that they play good football in other places that aren't just, the best places. Especially in a day and age where parity is happening in college football now. Like, I don't know, man. Unless I'm so uber talented, like if I'm one of those 3 or 4 teams in the country that's so uber talented that I don't have to really worry about it, I don't want to freaking play Tulane or James Madison. Get out of here.
Dangerous.
Get me out of there.
Nothing to lose.
And that's all the more reason for them to make the playoff. That is for sure. All right. I would like to pick Nebraska to cover.
But
23-20, Penn State.
Wow.
Falling short.
No faith.
But covering, Josh.
What's a cover get me?
A cover gets you a point in Pick'em. And a cover gets you, it wasn't that bad. They just, I don't know. I don't know exactly what the cover's going to look like.
You think it won't be, you'll be in Vegas Monday, so you don't care what it's going to be like here on Monday. It will be bad.
Well, I will be in the talkosphere. I will be doing my radio show.
You will do the crossover. You'll do the rundown. You'll whoop, time for Matt Rule.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will go away.
I will do podcasts.
That's true.
I will be in the talkosphere. A cover's not so bad, Josh. But Penn State wins 23-20.
Gross.
Back after this with the polls. We'll tell you what to watch on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
I told producer Josh I desperately want to go home.
On 1620, The Zone.
We learned a lot today on the show. We learned phrases about leading horses to water and teaching people to fish.
You learned a lot about hockey in the crossover.
Learned about hockey. I learned that Bryan Munson likes to weightlift while cooking a
Deep frying
turkey.
a turkey.
It's just we learned a lot today.
Yeah.
So this is like the end of the, what was that show? Well, I guess all the kids shows, they always teach you what you learned at the end. Like, here's what we learned today.
South Park had a big run of just stopping in the last couple minutes and going, well, I learned something today.
Yeah. Yep. So maybe we could throw that into this segment from now on. Here's what we learned today.
We learned Connor will put things up his orifice. Don't say it again, or a business guy might have to close up shop, says Platt Cat.
I do not want that guy to lose his business because I said something about my butt on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I also don't want him to turn off this radio station. Keep the radio station on. Is there something about a missed basket at 11:30 a.m. that has a different vibe to it? That was from yesterday afternoon in the crossover.
That's right.
I think it does. Yes, 62% say yes. Was the back door a problem?
That's what Matt said about his goalie last night.
68% say yes. I have no comment. Do you have a favorite kind of swish? I do. I love basketball. 71% say yes. Does a parquet floor get you going?
Yes.
It doesn't.
I'm a Celtics fan, though.
You are. You're a honk. 64% say no. Is New Haven pizza overhyped? No, it's appropriately hyped. 54% say yes. Have you ever been to Spartanburg, South Carolina?
No.
Oh, crap. I accidentally voted no. That was a reflex. 91% say no. Would you pay half a tooth for a win in an MTE? Yes.
Connor's going to have to cash in that other tooth tonight.
63% say no. And finally, did they make excuses in 1920?
Absolutely not.
I don't believe so. 55% say yes, they did make excuses in 1920. Those are the polls. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
We're watching the NFL on Sunday mostly.
What are we watching tonight?
Tonight, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that instead?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you.
Colts Chiefs, noon on Sunday, CBS. Fox has the doubleheader. They'll give you Vikings Packers at noon, Eagles Cowboys at 3.
Cool.
And then Sunday Night Football at SoFi for Bucks Rams. It'll be Chris Collinsworth's 500th game in a booth of some kind.
What is wrong with Bucky Irving? Did you see what Florio said?
No.
Florio was like,
is he okay?
Florio was like, yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to play this Sunday. And what I'm hearing, it should never be public information or something like that.
Whoa.
It was like, I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Oh.
What is wrong with Bucky
Okay.
Irving? I wish him the best.
There are a lot of things. It is a sneaky good sports night tonight. College football, you got Florida State at NC State, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Hawaii plays UNLV at 9:30 tonight on FS1.
Okay.
Tomorrow, College Game Days in Eugene for USC Oregon, a game they're not broadcasting. Guest picker, Marcus Mariota. Big noon is in Cincinnati for BYU Cincy. Gus Johnson will be at the Shoe for Rutgers, Ohio State. NBA doubleheader on Prime. Pacers, they only have one win this year. They're taking on the Cavs in Cleveland.
Really? One and what? Like 12?
Yeah. Well, they don't have Halliburton this year, so what's the point of trying? 6 o'clock on Prime. Nuggets, Rockets, 8:30 tonight on Prime. In about an hour, that's right, in about an hour, number 23 Wisconsin will play number 9 BYU in basketball on Peacock or NBC Sports Network if you have YouTube TV. Omaha at LSU tonight at 7 on ESPN Plus. You should listen to Gary's call on 1180. In the Bahamas, number 15 Texas Tech takes on number 1 Purdue, 8:30 on CBS Sports Network. And of course, K-State and Nebraska hook up in Kansas City tonight. 8:30 on Peacock or NBC Sports Network if you have YouTube TV.
That's right.
You don't have to leave the app. It's great. Women's basketball tonight, 7 o'clock. Big Fox, number 1 UConn hosts number 6 Michigan. Volleyball, number 1 Nebraska at number 17 Indiana. Once again, Big Ten Plus has put a ranked versus ranked matchup on Big Ten Plus instead of Big Ten Network, but it's 5 o'clock tomorrow. Big East Tourney in Milwaukee, Creighton and Marquette, noon tomorrow on ESPN Plus.
Does Nebraska volleyball dogpile if they win the Big Ten title outright on Saturday?
I don't think they
or
touch.
do they just
don't touch the trophy.
Shake hands.
Yeah.
Fist bump. Yeah.
Get out of there.
Got it.
The Conjuring 4 is on HBO now, and there's an Ed Sheeran concert on Netflix if you choose to live your life that way.
All right. I don't watch concerts on Netflix.
I don't
Thanks.
either.
That is it. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
And we'll talk to you on Monday.
Safe travels.
I'll be a different man by then.
You will.
All right. That's it for us today. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is coming up next.